tailgate is open. The
coached by Bethany grad good friend of mine, Jamie Cruz, Smoky Valley coach by Bethany grad, Tim Lambert. A lot of things coming into the game, Doug, that are exciting, and I think it's going to be a great, cold game, but great tonight.
Yeah, I remember leaving last week saying we were sure hoping this week's weather was going to hold out and things were going to be nice. Well, that turned quickly on Wednesday into Thursday, and the good part is those of you watching on live.smokyvalley.org tonight can see that we've got a clean field. We've got an opportunity to play a good football game tonight. Like you said, extremely cold, similar as far as temperature to 2 years ago when we traveled to Pratt and played them at Pratt in the same round. And, of course, both teams now 3A, but field's clear. The night is definitely cold, but it should be a good night of football here.
They have played some similar opponents. They have played Heston. They beat Heston without their two top guns in their 55-0. We beat Heston twice. Don't know if that means anything or not. They played Nickerson, and they played, lost the other one, Larned. So it's a comparable team. They've got a lot of comparisons as Jason's put together some stats here. We'll go over them for you in just a little bit. But the Vikings winning an exciting game last week, 22-14. The score probably closer than what the outcome really was because the Vikings gave the ball away too many times on some silly fumbles and some penalties.
Yeah, we definitely had opportunities last week, or basically gave them opportunities last week to have a good chance of making some plays and really allowed that game to stay a lot tighter maybe than what it could have been. I know Coach Lambert felt like if we would have controlled the ball a little bit better, we would have had a much better outcome as far as the distance of the game. But, of course, late in the game, we were able to make the stops when we had to make them. It was definitely an exciting game, but we did our thing. We, I believe, threw the ball how many times last week?
One,
twice.
Two. Yeah,
twice.
One to the other team.
And one was an interception on a kind of a Hail Mary type pass right before the half. And I expect more of that tonight. I expect this to be a grinded out game. I think both teams throw the ball a similar amount of times on the season. They both want to run the football. They both want to try to get that ball right up the middle and get their speed guys on the edge. A lot of similarities between the two teams, and it should be a ton of fun.
And both teams have excellent defenses. Pratt has given up only 88 points on the year. Smoky Valley has given up only 83. So it's going to be a defensive battle, but it could turn into a slugfest with some offensive. Both teams have the ability and the capability of scoring. We'll take our first time out. When we come back, we'll start talking about some stats for both teams. You're listening to Smoky Valley Football, back right after this.
People's Bank and Trust in its heritage of service to the customer and features 12 locations in central Kansas. People's Bank and Trust, a proud supporter of Smoky Valley and Bethany College. Member FDIC.
Lidsborg Community Hospital and Family Healthcare Clinic, supporting concussion safety and impact testing for all athletes who call the Smoky Valley home.
Big Six is proud to support Salina and the surrounding area because your community is our community. Stop in and secure a high-interest CD today at one of our two Salina locations, 1900 South Ohio or 2101 East Crawford. Member FDIC, Bank 6 is a partner you can trust.
The Old Stuga in downtown Lidsborg is celebrating 40 years in business. Home of the famous Brent Nelson sandwich. Visit them on South Main Street. Go Vikings and go Swedes.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
Sectional Playoff game between the Pratt Greenbacks and your Smoky Valley Vikings. In accordance with Case Rule 52, we ask that all players, coaches, and spectators exemplify the type of sportsmanship that would make their school and community proud. Let us all work together in making all high school activities a positive experience. By being courteous and respectful to all players and officials, we can help ensure high school activities are indeed the other half of education. Now for our starters for the Greenbacks, number 2.
The Smoky Valley
Vikings.
Vikings.
To Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field. The Pratt Greenbacks are led in rushing and passing by their senior all-everything Travis Tice. He isn't a great big guy, but he is an athletic guy. You can remember him last year from the basketball court. He could do about anything he wanted, but he's 25 of 48 for 643 yards passing, and he's carried the ball 152 times for 1,955 yards. And his fullback, Reiner, number 4, has carried it 69 times for 822 yards. They're kind of a two-headed monster, Doug. We're kind of a three-headed monster. Does that give us an advantage?
You know, you hope that it definitely does. You hope we have the opportunity to maybe mix that up a little bit more. We're going to let Jason share some of those stats here on that three-headed monster and exactly what they've been doing so far this year.
Rushing, leading the way for Smoky Valley rushing, Tim Lambert, 208 rushes for 1,395 yards, 9 touchdowns. Court Elliott, 196 rushes for 1,044 yards and 12 touchdowns. Last game, got his career high, 231 rushing yards against Heston. And Lane Schrog, 88 rushes for 742 yards and 11 touchdowns.
It's really impressive, and they do a good job, and they just keep going at you. And this offensive line, you know, we keep talking all year long. We've talked about the front 4+1. Well, we don't want to leave Wyatt Reed out, but he's done an excellent job. And you throw the tight end in there with Blake Hebel, and they've just opened holes and worn people out. So we hope our defense, our front 7, can really do a good job offensively and defensively, and it's going to be an exciting game. I had a chance to talk with Coach Lambert, and we'll have that interview for you next, and we'll be back with some starting lineups and some more thoughts. You're listening to Smoky Valley Football, back after this.
At State Farm, when home and auto work together as a team, you score time and money. Call State Farm agent Anthony Hopkins.
I would ask that you now please rise for the playing of the Star Spangled Banner by the Smoky Valley Pep Band under the direction of Mr. Adam Keller.
And welcome back to more Viking pregame. Don James along with Coach Tim Lambert as you get.
Flexible plans.
College, where tonight the Bethany College Swedes, well, they're not playing tonight. It's the Smoky Valley Vikings. We had a little technical difficulties with our interview with Coach Lambert. We somehow found the one after the Cheney game, so we apologize for that. But Coach Lambert just has a lot of respect for what Jamie's done at Pratt. He's got a good team lined up, and he knows that they have to stop the big play because they've scored in bunches. When they score, it's always on a big play. So they've had the big play capability all year, and that's something that I'm sure his defensive guru, Mr. James Henderson, has certainly got a game plan ready to go.
Yeah, and I think it's a good week of practice. I think these guys are pretty excited. They're pretty even keel. This is a unique group in the fact that they just come out, go to work. They know exactly what is expected of them week by week, and this is another one of those weeks. But no matter how many times you can say that, you realize this is the stretch where you made it to every year, and this is the point where you've been knocked out. And these seniors have accomplished so many things in their years here in high school, and this third straight trip now to this spot, they definitely want to have that chance to get over it, and that defense is that key to that tonight. I think the ability of Coach Henderson's crew there to be able to execute the game plan the way we want and be able to step out and get stops, especially on their outstanding quarterback, Travis Tice.
Well, he is an exceptional athlete, no question about that. But the defense has been playing well. The secondary, We were watching him warm up. He's got a good arm. He can throw the ball downfield. But, boy, Carson Winholtz and Lane Schrog have been coming up, and Andrew Peters, for that matter. All three of them have been coming up with a lot of interceptions the last 2 or 3 weeks.
You know, they really have. And we've always talked this year about how strong our front seven are. Those 4 defensive linemen, our 3 linebackers that are shooting the gaps. We're going to put a lot of pressure on that Pratt line early, especially with the way the field is tonight. You know, it's going to be a little bit dicey as far as being able to get away from people. So we want to get through those gaps as quick as we can. And you're right. Then we kind of set that opportunity up for those 4 guys in the defensive backfield to use their speed and to make plays. You know, the problem area is going to be if we have to see those 4 guys making a ton of tackles tonight. That means they've gotten to our secondary way more than what we expect them to. But both teams put defenses on the field tonight that don't allow a lot of points. So something at some point in time has to give.
The defensive front 4, we'll talk about our starters real quick. John Burks, Ethan Wampler, Nate Groslin, Conrad Peterson. They're the front 4 defensive line. They play really, really strong. Then you got Blake Hebel and Court Elliott and Matt Adams. We don't talk a lot about Matt Adams, but he's that third link on the defensive linebacker group that he's had some outstanding games so far. And then you throw in the corners, Carson Winholtz, Lane Schrog, and the safeties, Andrew Peters and Tim Lambert. The defense is just outstanding and has given up only 83 points. I mean, we talk a lot about other things, but they've only given up 83 points in 10 games. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's really easy to give the player of the game every night to a running back that has 200-plus yards or has 3 touchdowns or whatever, but I think everybody that watches this team knows it's the defense is where it starts, and that's what gets the job done. And you made the comments about Matt Adams. You know, once you try to take away a Conrad Peterson, an Ethan Wampler, Blake Hebel, whoever those guys are, that's when the next guy steps up, and that's when Matt Adams makes plays, and that's when that secondary gets involved. That's when Tim Lambert's able to come flying through there and use his speed on defense. So these guys know how to help each other out. They've played with each other a lot, and they know exactly how to get the job done.
Well, one of the dads who sits right next to us here in the next opening of the press box, John Burks' dad, Leroy, has always talked about these kids have played together since they were Terminators. They've been in the trenches. They've been up and they've been down, and you know, to have a season 10-0 already, looking for that next step. I know, you know, these guys as they come out on the field now tonight, they're excited as crazy. We'll take our final timeout. Let's take a 1-minute timeout, Jared. We'll have the coin toss and the starting kickoff here in a little bit. You're listening to Smoky Valley Football, back right after this.
Farmers State Bank of Windhorst, located at 447 Harrison Street.
Celebrating 75 years in 2019, we are your partner in healthcare. Smoky Valley Chiropractic. Dr. Daryl Loader has been
That wins the toss. They defer. Smoky Valley will receive.
Wellness and sports injury management. He is the resident expert in the Smoky Valley, helping others live long, active, healthy lives since 1995.
This is a Smoky Valley Vikings broadcast.
Back at Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College. Want to also thank our sponsors that help us: Harry Malari, CNL Heating and Cooling, People's Bank and Trust, Yoder Lawn and Tree Care, Farmers State Bank, Arn Reinert CPA, Smoky Valley Booster Club, Gallant Tire and Auto, Phoenix Restoration, Lindsberg Family Dental, Viking Auto, Scott's, Bank of Tescott, call Mari for your Smoky Valley real estate needs, Dr. Daryl Loader, and Midway Motors. Pratt won the toss, elected to defer, so they'll be kicking to Smoky Valley. They'll be kicking with the wind. There's still a little bit of north wind. It's supposed to die down here directly, but hasn't quite done that yet. But the Pratt Greenbacks will be kicking it 2 from north to south, and deep for the Vikings will be Tim Lambert with Peters and Schrog, the other 2 upbacks. The kicker is number 14, Sanchez, Daniel Sanchez. The other thing that happens when Pratt, in the occasion that they do need a punt, Travis Tice, their quarterback, is their punter, so he's always a threat to tuck it and run as well. So sit back and enjoy. Hope we have a lot of listeners and watchers out there on the internet at live.smokyvalley.org, and we are underway, ready to go. And we hope the Vikings can win tonight's game and be at home again against Andale if Andale wins. High end-over-end kick. Lambert's got to go and try to get it, and he's inside the 5-yard line, kicking it upfield to the 10, 15, trying the far side, and gets it up near the 20-yard line. And that's where the Vikings will have it 1st and 10 and ready to take on these Pratt Greenbacks.
Yeah, nice kick, and you pointed out the fact that live.smokyvalley.org, it is a cold night. We're going to have a lot of people watching. We're already up to 350 watchers tonight, welcoming a lot of people out there from Portland, Oregon to Kansas City, to Loveland, Colorado, Florida. We got a lot of people out there, and people from Pratt backers, Smoky Valley backers. It's great to have that opportunity. Thanks again to Mike Rose and all that our district does to be able to stream this.
I formation behind Lane Schrog. First man through is Court Elliott. And Court's going to get no gain on the play. He gets driven back by that interior defense of the Pratt Greenbacks. 2nd down and 10, Smoky Valley. Just underway here from Anderson Stadium, home of the Vikings and the Bethany College Swedes. Bethany College Swedes not in action this week as their season ended last week. They had their bye on this week, so they're done with their football season. But congratulations to Coach Ferguson and Coach O'Dowd as they both got victories today in a tournament over at Hillsboro. 2nd down and 10 for Smoky Valley. I formation again. Comes Tim Lambert trying to get a little sneak, and he's get wrapped up by the big guy inside there, number 74, Dawson Snyder. And the Vikings get a yard on that one. It's going to be 3rd down and a long 8 for Smoky Valley.
Slim pickings so far. We went with our first bull in the china shop with Court Elliott, and he got nowhere. Their defense really stiffened there. And then we tried to bring Lambert here off a little counter look again, and he was unable to pick up anything, but about 2 yards. So early on in the game, the Vikings are behind the sticks just a little bit here with a 3rd and 8 play.
Passing situation, Schrog will go in that pistol formation. 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side, rolling out in the flat, going to toss it downfield. Tim catches it and out of bounds at the 35-yard line. 1st down, Smoky Valley. That's good, as Lane didn't throw any completions last week other than to the other team, and he gets his first 1-for-1 completion, a gain of 16 yards.
Yeah, tough throwing tonight, too, at the standpoint that that one was a little bit of an end-over-end pass by the time it came out of his hands, but a great position for it, right to Lambert, 14-yard gain.
I formation again, Schrog under center. Flanker is Raleigh Wilson. On the near side, here comes Court Elliott pounding the middle again. He'll get up near the 40-yard line. It looks like the 39. It'll be a gain of a little over 3 yards, 2nd down and 7. Well, this front 3 or 4 for Pratt is some big guys as well. So the Vikings aren't going to have that luxury. They're kind of size for size on the front line. The front 5 for the Smoky Valley, the front 4 plus 1, and their front 4. And then their linebackers led by middle linebacker, their quarterback athlete, Travis Tice. He gets in there pretty quickly as well. I formation behind Schrog. There's a flag on the play. Somebody jumped. Our tight end on this side jumped. And we'll back up 5 yards. First penalty of the ball game goes against Smoky Valley.
Yeah, again, another one of those situations. It's going to be important tonight to be able to limit those penalties and those things of that nature. We didn't have a chance to get to Jason's keys of the game tonight, but it was controlling the line of scrimmage like you just talked about, both offensively and defensively. Making the big play in the passing game or the running game and limiting turnovers or forcing turnovers. And then that same thing that's been big the last few weeks, 3rd and 4th down conversions.
Wishbone formation this time for Smoky Valley. Schrog laying out in the flat. He's got a receiver. Dax hop downfield, caught it, and across midfield, complete into Pratt territory. Tight end Dax Hop pulls in his first reception of the year, and the Vikings aren't afraid to throw a few tricks out there tonight, looks like to me.
Yeah, that was a big play down the side. We came out of the bone. We don't throw the ball a lot out of the bone, and he comes off the right side, is able to make the play for a 20-yard gain, and that was a beautiful toss from Lane Schrog here in the cold. He dropped that ball right in there.
Wishbone formation, double tight end, Smoky Valley into Pratt territory on their first possession. Here comes Tim Lambert on the outside. He gets caught by one of their linebackers first and then gets forward for a couple of yards. 2nd down and 8 at the 44-yard line.
Interesting here. We get to the cold and we have to make those early decisions. We're forced into a few of those, and the fact that they already forced us into one 3rd down play here. But throwing the ball already. Like you said, we're 2 for 2 this week. We threw the ball all of 2 times last week. And so this game does present some interesting challenges.
Well, you got to go with what you can do. Wishbone formation again. Here comes Cord Elliott pounding his way through the middle. He's got near first down yardage. Good second and third effort and good block downfield by Wampler and tight end Blake Hebel as they come down there and help get Cord Elliott some extra yardage.
Yeah, another one of those where Cord's just pushing his way through there. And actually, again, first contact, I think, for him in that hole that time was actually Nate Groslett, who was trying to block for him. If he could have shifted off that a little quicker, I think it's a big gain. But either way, he gets it to a manageable third and about a half yard here.
Wishbone formation again for Smoky Valley. Long play count by Schrog. Here comes Tim Lambert. He's got the first down yardage, but not by much. But he gets to the 35-yard line. And the Vikings will have another first down to maintain this drive, opening drive. It's 8:07 left to go first quarter. The Vikings are still driving in their first possession.
Yeah, this is one of those possessions you definitely want to come away with points because you have done such a nice job of taking time off the clock, of making plays, of basically showing Pratt you're going to have to defend our run, you're going to have to defend our pass because we're going to do both of them tonight. And they've done a nice job of that here in the first drive.
I formation with a wide receiver each way for the Vikings. Cord Elliott, no, Schrog's going to keep it himself. He's got some yardage across the 30 and down to the 26 or 28. Got too many lines there. But, boy, what a nice field it is tonight compared to last night. We were scraping the snow off. Both Doug and I were helping scrape the snow off last night. And, you know, you wondered what yard line are we at? We can't even see the numbers yet. So we kept scraping. And it turned out to be a nice night to make the field so playable tonight. Wide receiver each way. Again, I formation, second down and 4. We'll call it. Here comes Cord Elliott. First down, Cord Elliott. And Vikings are pounding their way down. They're starting to get some feel for what they can do and what their strength is, and they're looking really good with that front 4+1.
Yeah, they really are. And again, just a nice blend. But one of the things that's always been our strength throughout this year has been that ability to just kind of wear people down. And that's going to be an interesting concept tonight. I don't mean to keep belaboring it, but we have not throughout the state had many nights like this season. And this is by far, I think, the coldest night anybody's played under. And definitely the conditions are going to be an impact tonight.
Wide receiver far side for the Vikings. Cord Elliott again pounds it up the middle. This time they stop him. They submarined this time and got the stop down there. Big number 78 and 72 or 70 in there to stop the Vikings' penetration. You think back in the Nickerson game, that's a game you guys didn't go to, but we just couldn't get anything going on the ground up the middle, and they were submarining, and now you think we're getting down close to the Next Tech Wireless red zone, and maybe Pratt has watched that film on Smoky Valley, and they're going to say, we're going to make it a little bit more difficult. They're going to go back to the wishbone here, second down and 9. Turn and hand it off to Lambert, trying to get outside, slow play it, and boy, Travis Tice, their linebacker, met him at the line of scrimmage, no gain on the play, and it is third down.
Yeah, it looked like that might amount to something. We had blockers around the edge there as we had Elliott and Kennedy both coming, but they basically had to get tied up with guys that played off their blocks off the line, and then that allowed Tice to be able to hit that gap there and come back and make the tackle. He's such a good athlete. You made the comment he's not a real big guy, but he's extremely strong, and he makes plays when he has to. The Vikings now have run 12 plays, getting ready for their 13th play of this drive.
I formation behind Lane Schrog, who's under center, third and long. Toss to Lambert, trying to get outside. It looks like he got a little crease, but boy, there is somebody coming in there. This time it was number 4, that Reiner, their fullback, that shot a gap and got Lambert tripped up. It looked like if he could have got by him, he could have maybe had a chance to get that corner, but boy, he made a really quick read.
Yeah, let's give some credit there to Reiner because he sold out on that play. He dove through the blocks there and was able to get at the legs of Lambert to take him down. This makes for a big 4th and 10 play. Although you're down here at the 22-yard line, you know, it's almost as if you've punted it. You can definitely take a shot at the end zone or hit something about 12, 15 yards up, or maybe something in the flat and get you guys a chance to run it.
Pistol formation. Schrog rolling out near side. He's got time. He's got looking. He's going to turn and go the other way, and he can't get around the defensive tackle who got inside there, big number 70, and he sacks Schrog back on 4th down for a 5-yard loss. But, boy, if Lane could have got around him, he had an open field to the far side, but he made a great play.
Yeah, we had one opportunity there maybe to get him blocked because they were just basically strafing along the line there to make sure he didn't cut back. And right at that moment when he stopped is when big number 70 made the step forward, and he was able to get him shut down there and get him. But otherwise, if he could have gotten the edge, I think he had the option to run or possibly toss the ball back into the end zone to one of our receivers.
Travis Tice will take care of their offense now. He goes in the flex bone. They have a flanker behind each tackle. He's going to keep it and run it himself. He tucks it up in the middle, and he'll get 4, maybe 5 yards on the play, second down for Pratt. But that is led by their all-everything guy, senior Travis Tice.
Yeah, nice tackle in there by Court Elliott. And it's going to be important for the Vikings to do a similar thing to what Pratt was doing. They are going to have to shut down that middle and not allow Tice and the other backs the opportunity to glide through there and find space.
Second down, and we'll call it 4. Gain of 6 on the play. First possession for Pratt. Smoky Valley drove it for a long time, came up empty on the play. A lot of motion, a lot of movement in there. Tice tries to scrape along the line of scrimmage, and he gets gang tackled. A loss on the play of about a yard. It'll be third down and 5.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play by the Vikings. Their front 4 able to get through and get a push. Number 4, Reiner, tried to get a block in there, and he was unable to get that block. And John Burks in their first contact making a big play and then getting some help from Elliott and the rest of his friends on that defensive line and defensive linebacker core.
Third and 5, put a man in motion. Now he stops. Now they go away from the line of scrimmage. They got to be careful so we don't jump when they do that because they put everybody, the linemen go down, they stay down, but the backs can move. Third down and 5. Tice on the drive. He's got first down yardage and more. He's out into midfield or 45-yard line. He is so strong and so powerful. He got some big yardage after the first contact.
He did, and their blocks, they were hat on hats at the line, and that made it difficult. And then he was able to get off of a potential tackle by Hebel there, and eventually Schrog catching him from behind, if I'm not mistaken. It was either Schrog and then Lambert coming in to help finish that play off.
Wide receiver to the near side for the Pratt Greenbacks on their first possession. They get their first down on third and medium, third and long, basically. Tice goes under center once again, puts a man in motion to the near side, toss outside to the near side, and he gets the corner Reiner. It's across midfield and down, flipped up over heels by Carson Winholtz, and out of bounds at near the 40-yard line. He's some quick speed on that guy, number 4, Cadence Reiner,
yeah. And a good edge. He was able to get to the edge there. Good blocking on the edge is what I meant to say. And they were able to get that movement going. And again, when you get that running up the middle so much, it then opens up the edge. And that's what the Vikings are so good at. And we obviously see that Pratt is equally as strong at that same thing.
They got a lot of speed in their backfield as well. Tice under center with that same flex bone situation. Tice is going to keep it himself. He gets through a couple of tackles, still in the open, and he's going to take it to the 20, 10, 5, and driven down before he gets into the end zone. Andrew Peters makes a touchdown-saving tackle, but not before Travis Tice breaks 3 or 4 tackles and gets it down inside the 5-yard line.
Yes, Pratt, great run, and they are in the Next Tech Wireless Red Zone. Lowest rates, flexible plans, and exceptional customer service for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to being just a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless. Great run on the play, 39 yards by Tice, and that puts him within 6 yards of going, or puts him over the 2,000-yard mark on the season, actually.
So first and goal for the Greenbacks. Boy, they bring everybody bunching right together, and Tice is just going to lunge over. And did he make it? They haven't signaled yet. Touchdown Pratt with 1:55 to go in the first quarter. Tice takes it in from 1 yard out.
Yeah, we mentioned that Viking drive took nearly 6 minutes off the clock, and unfortunately stalls out down there around the 20. We eventually give that up about the 28-yard line, and then they move down the field here very methodically, 1 third down play, and just do what Pratt has been good at all year, and that's push the ball up the field, use their strength, and use their key weapons, and of course that is Tice picking up the first touchdown.
Point after attempt kicking it. High snap. It's going to be a busted play. Holder is going to be able to take it to the end zone and get a 2-point conversion. And our score with 1:55 left to go in the first quarter. Smoky Valley behind the Pratt Greenbacks by the score of 8-0. Back right after this.
Trust your Smoky Valley real estate needs to Mari Loader of Coldwell Banker and Piper Winger Realtors. A Smoky Valley business owner since 1995 and a community volunteer, no one knows the entire Smoky Valley area the way that Mari does. Call her for your real estate needs. Call Mari, call it sold.
Boyd Accounting provides professional accounting services in the Lindsborg area. Call them today at 227-2589 for all your accounting needs. Wishing the best of luck to the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
The Vikings play here.
Looks like he's okay getting up, though. And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where 24 hours ago this field didn't look so hot with the snowpack on it, but boy, over 40 volunteers of dads and moms and administration, both Glenn Supas, Kai Swisher, Bill Nelson, everybody was out here scooping and pushing and got it all cleaned off, so the field looks pretty nice tonight. You were helping too, Doug.
Yeah, it's much nicer working with indoor sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's for our kids, and that's what we talked about this when we talked about our district a few weeks ago. This is what we do here in this community, and we do whatever we can for our student athletes to make them feel like, this is the place to be and how much we support them. So it was definitely great to see everybody out last night.
Kickoff again, coming high, end over end. Lambert's going to go to the corner and get it. It's just going to be pick it up inside the 5, try to get right up to the edge, and this time tackled inside the 15-yard line. He'll get up to about the 11, actually, is all he'll get to, and that's where the Vikings will have it 1st and 10. Their kicker really kicking it away from Tim Lambert and unable to make a decision on whether that was going to go into the end zone or not. So Pratt drive ended up 6 plays, 74 yards, taking 2 minutes and 54 seconds, so they were able to put points on the board pretty quickly. There's only a minute 50 left in this first quarter.
Hats off to the Pratt kicker. The Vikings have employed that one deep guy, and that's been Lambert, and their kicker's been putting it on the very far edges and not a high kick, so it's very tough to get there in time.
High formation, Lambert will come out, and he'll get submarined again. There's that number 4, Reiner, again, shooting the gap and getting into the backfield and grabbing Lambert by his ankle. So they're like you said, they're selling out. I think we need to throw that little tight end pass to Blake Hebel because they're selling out on the run real quickly. Tight end streak down the middle might be something that would be wide open.
We're getting hats on the line, but it's those linebackers now that are and they're deep guys, safety.
Reiner's a safety.
And they're bringing them up. They can put more guys in the box because they know we're not going to throw it a ton, but we may have to.
Wide receiver each way for Lane Schrog, dropping back to pass. There it goes down the flat to Lambert, and it's in there, intercepted by the corner who comes over and takes the interception. Caden Everett reads the ball coming down the middle to Lambert, and they come up with a pick on the second play at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell there if he was trying to get the ball all the way to the edge or if it was going to go to Lambert. I thought on the edge he actually had Carson Winholtz going deep, but again, you have Lambert going through that seam and gave it an opportunity. Kind of threw the ball between both of them, not deep enough for Winholtz and too deep for Lambert.
Nice, puts the guy in motion. Now they all stop and call the play from the sideline. So see what the turnover can do if the Vikings can dodge a bullet here. Last week it was fumbles. This week the second possession is a interception. Tice pitches to the outside to Reiner, trying to get outside, and he's got a seam. He gets through the first wave of tacklers and then gets it out inside the 30-yard line down to about the 26 or 7. Pick up of a first down yardage on the first carry. But he has got some tremendous speed.
He does, and the problem is if you play him too much, then Tice is just going to give a little fake and go right up the middle, and that makes it tough. But if you don't play him enough, he's going to be able to get around the edge like he did there, had some nice blocking, and picks up a 16-yard gain, as you pointed out, down to the Viking 26-yard line.
First down and 10. The Pratt Greenbacks, they lead by the score of 8-0. Just 40 seconds left in the first quarter. Tice looking over the Viking defense, puts a man in motion again. Tice is going to keep it himself. And hesitation run. He spins and gets down inside the Next Tech Wireless red zone, down to the 18-yard line.
Pratt is in the Next Tech Wireless red zone. Lowest rates, flexible plans, and exceptional customer service for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to being just a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless. Nice run, spinning, juking, diving, able to get through there. Tice a little slow getting up after the play, but as we come to the end of the quarter, they'll be able to check him out and make sure everything's good to go.
The quarter is over, and Pratt Greenbacks have a lead and are driving 8-0 Pratt. Back with the second quarter right after this.
There are few things more important in banking than partnering with people you know. At Bank 6, they pride themselves on being community-driven and helping customers make the best decisions with their finances. Whether it's a personal account or business loan, Bank 6 is there for you. Come see how you can secure a high-interest CD today and put the power of compounding to work. Bank 6 with 2 locations in Salina, 1900 South Ohio and 2101 East Crawford. Bank 6 is a partner you can trust. Member FDIC.
This is a Rockingham broadcast of the Smoky Valley Vikings.
Again at a cold Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where tonight the Smoky Valley Vikings and the Pratt Greenbacks are hooked up in a sectional playoff game. Winner will take on the winner of Andale and Scott City. That game happening at Scott City, right?
Or is it that game's at Andale, and Andale's up 7-0 early in that game. Other games that are going on right now: Smith Center up on Sedgwick 33-14. Conway Springs up on Phillipsburg 15-7. And let's see here: Derby up on Topeka 27-7, and I believe Plainville up on top of Elkhart right now 22-7 at the half.
That's Coach Hadabaugh's team, correct?
Yes.
So second and short for Pratt in that flex bone situation. Tice is going to keep it and get first down yardage across the 15 down to the 13-yard line. They'll have it first and 10 at that point. Leading 8-0, looking for more. The Viking defense certainly needs to stiffen up here.
Yeah, and they're moving the ball well. They're doing, like I said, a lot of the same things we do, just continuing to fight through there. But this Tice kid is a very impressive athlete, as we talked about during the break. He's able to glide through there. He's so strong, so physically strong. He doesn't look like he should be that strong, but you can see through his legs there just what a kind of a massive athlete he is. But his ability to slide into those holes and gaps gives him a great opportunity to pick up yards.
Reiner in motion again. Ball loose on the ground. Vikings have it, I believe. Fumbled, and no, I think they say Tice got back to it somehow. But the ball got loose on the ground. It's going to be a loss of about 4 on the play, but we had a chance there to get that ball back.
Yeah, Tice ran into his fullback there, and a little timing issue, and then he tried to pull the ball back out and get a quick pitch, and with the cold temperatures, drops the ball. Matthew Adams in there, but it kind of bobbled around, and Tice was extremely quick to get his hands on it and cover that ball back up and keep it for the Greenbacks.
Second down and 15. In motion again. Here comes Tice on the option. Pitches out to Reiner again, trying to get outside. He's got some room, and the Vikings going to drive him out, but he's inside the 10-yard line. I believe we'll see where he ends up spotting the Carson Winholtz and Blake Hebel in there on the tackle for the Vikings. It's going to be right at the 10-yard line. It's a gain of about 7 or 8. It's going to be third down and a long 7.
Yeah, Hebel gets through there quickly and makes a hit on Tice right as he gives the ball up. A perfectly timed pitch to Reiner as he comes around. Actually, it wasn't Hebel. Hebel was in on the tackle, but one of our linebackers got through there in a hurry and was able to get a hit, but unable to get the stop.
Pratt puts 2 receivers out to the far side, including the speedster Reiner out there. Tice has thrown it for 600 and some yards. We'll see what they're going to do here. Now they're going to call a timeout. Timeout on the field, and we'll step away as well. 10:05 left to go, second quarter. Pratt on top, 8-0. Back right after this.
Arn Reinert, CPA LLC, provides tax and accounting services in the Smoky Valley area and is a proud supporter of Smoky Valley High School and Bethany College activities. Located at 117 South Lincoln Street in Lindsborg. Arn Reinert, CPA LLC.
First Bank Kansas is a proud sponsor of Smoky Valley Football. First Bank Kansas is your community-oriented, customer-focused bank where banking is made personal with locations in Lindsborg, Salina, and McPherson.
You're listening to Smoky Valley Vikings Athletics.
At Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where 624 followers on live.smokyvalley.org. So there's a lot of good company. Hope you're having a warm hot chocolate and a little popcorn or something keeping you warm. We got our little space heater doing a nice job here keeping us warm. Everybody in the press box, of course, having a little bit better than the ones, but there is a great crowd here for such a cold night.
Yeah, there really is. Good turnout of people and on both sides of the field, from Pratt and from Lindsborg. So good to see all of that.
3 receivers to the far side for Pratt, and the Vikings jump off sides. They put a guy in motion, and I said that they're going to have to be careful of that because they put one of those flexbone guys in motion. He comes back by the quarterback, and then he stops, and it's just so hard to keep from moving. So there's a 5-yard penalty against the Vikings. Now what was 3rd and 7 makes it 3rd down and 2. Much more manageable for the Pratt Greenbacks.
Yeah, had a blitz going through the A-gap there, and Hebel was going to try to get a quick start and see if he could get through. Unfortunately, the timing there was not quite to the Vikings' advantage.
From the 5-yard line, 3rd down and 2. Tyson's going to tuck it and keep it himself, and he is in for the touchdown. A 5-yard run by Travis Tice. And at 10:02 left to go in the second quarter, Pratt breaks on top 14-0.
Yeah, nice short drive here by Pratt as they take over the ball in the Vikings territory after the interception. And again, move down the field very methodically. Unfortunately for the Vikings there, giving up the penalty on the 3rd and 7 play and setting up a 3rd and 2. Kind of put us behind the 8 ball a little bit, and Tice takes the ball home.
Point after a kick up and way, way high and good. And our score with 10:02 left to go, second quarter, Pratt 15, Smoky Valley 0. Back right after this.
Big Six is proud to support Salina and the surrounding area because your community is our community. Stop in and secure a high-interest CD today at one of our 2 Salina locations, 1900 South Ohio or 2101 East Crawford. Member FDIC, Bank 6 is a partner you can trust.
Farley's Bar and Grill in downtown Lindsborg is your game day headquarters. Come try their Monte Crisco or other specialty menu items. Farley's Bar and Grill, located at 101 North Main Street in Lindsborg, proudly supporting the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
And back at Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here. The Vikings suddenly down now by the score of 15-0. They got down to Halstead 14-0, I think. So not an unusual spot to be in, but team that we've given up or has given up almost as few points as we've given up. We've only given up 83 on the year. They've given up 88 on the year. We need to start putting a little dent in the scoreboard here, seeing what we do. They still put one receiver back in Lambert. So he is deep by himself. Now they're kicking off against the wind, so it'll be a little bit harder to get it quite as deep as he's gotten it a couple times. Lambert's going to be able to come up. It's going to hit, and he takes it, bobbles it, and has to go and cover it up inside the 20-yard line. So things certainly going Pratt's way on the kickoffs as they've been able to kick it away from and not allow the Vikings to have much of a return possibility.
Yeah, throughout the quarter and into the second quarter now, Vikings have had 16 plays to Pratt's 12. The difference is we've picked up 59 yards and had a turnover, whereas they've picked up 111 yards and all of those yards on the ground, and as well as 2 touchdowns and both of the extra points, including a 2-point and a 1-point to be up 15-0 here in this second quarter.
Wishbone formation for Smoky Valley, double tight end look. Turn and hand it off to Raleigh Wilson, and Raleigh Wilson, I believe. Is that right? Or
that is correct.
Thought it looked like Raleigh. He'll get across the 20 up to the 21, a gain of 2. But those are hard yards, no question about it.
Yeah, it's very difficult to find good running lanes here today. We've done it a few times on the opening drive, but then we have not really had that opportunity here in these last 2 drives to find those same gaps.
Wishbone formation, second down and a long 8. Here comes Elliott pounding up the middle. He's got some room to go. He's in midfield. It's a foot race and going to get caught about the 30-yard line and drugged down. No flags. What a burst by Court Elliott.
Yeah, he gets right up the left side there, able to get up the field. Tremendous amount of speed on behalf of the Pratt defenders catching up to him. You know, Elliott doesn't always get those great breakaways like that, but he is able to get the ball down the field. A 51-yard gain all the way down to the Pratt 28-yard line. Great run by Elliott, and there's one of those gaps we talked about, and he hits it and gets a big gain.
No question about that. First down, Smoky Valley and Pratt territory for the second time. Turn and hand it off to Lambert, I believe, coming in there, and he'll get 2 down to the 25-yard line. Second down and 8 for Smoky Valley.
Yeah, nice job. They're trying to mix it up a little bit. Again, Elliott coming off that long run. They try to give it out of the wishbone to somebody else. That happens to be Lambert here. Again, the three guys in back there that time. I think we actually had Raleigh Wilson back in there again. We have a player down now, number 74 for Pratt. That's Snyder down right now.
A Snyder, not spelled the same way, so not any family relationship to you, but they talk a little bit about other events going on. I know they had the opening performance of the musical or play, whatever you want to call it, last night, a very good production, and that'll be going on tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think they've got a 2 o'clock showing tomorrow afternoon and a 7:30 showing again tomorrow night, or 7 o'clock. I have to look that up again. It's coming across on Smoky Valley Live not right now. Maybe we wait long enough to see it go through and we can talk about it. But
Thank you, Mike.
It is 2 o'clock and 7:30. Mike's always helping us out. Of course, then we do the Veterans Day observation where the Smoky Valley Middle School will do their ceremonies. That'll take place at 1:30 at the high school gym. Then we've got Late Night in the Valley coming up this week as we get basketball rolling on Monday. Our game plan for Late Night in the Valley, and we might talk about that a little bit later tonight too. But the game plan is if the Vikings can pull this out tonight, we normally have it scheduled for Friday. We would go for Saturday. If Pratt is able to hold on tonight, we would have our Late Night in the Valley next week on Friday. That would start about 5:30 on that night.
Out of the timeout, both teams back and ready to go. The man in the white hat has run the play clock, so the Vikings going to have to hurry, but they'll be okay. Wishbone formation, 2nd down and 8. Turning and handing off to Lambert, trying to get the left side outside, and he gets a little room down to the 21-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 4.
Yeah, nice run off the edge. A little bit of a counter look as they bring Elliott one way and go back the other way. Kennedy in the backfield with him that time, leading the blocks and getting him up the field a little bit to create a manageable 3rd and about 2.5 here.
Wishbone formation again, double tight end. They're bringing up their linebackers right on the line of scrimmage. Here comes Cord Elliott, and he looks like he's got it. Cord Elliott pounds the middle. Good job by that front 4+1. Groslin and Burks is the center, and Peterson and Wampler and Wyatt Reed. They moved the chains, and that was all just individual effort by those 5 guys.
It was. Elliott and that front line gets us into the Next Tech Wireless Red Zone. Lowest rates, flexible plans, and exceptional customer service for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to being just a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless.
Vikings have gone a lot of wishbone formation on this one. Pywell is the tight end on the near side. Hebel's the tight end on the far side. Lane Schrog is going to keep it himself, and there's one of those linebackers shooting the gap. Reiner again coming in, and Lane Schrog just didn't see him coming and couldn't shake off that tackle.
Yeah, Reiner's just playing close to the line, and whenever he sees a little gap or an opening there, he's just hitting that gap as quickly as he can. I noticed earlier when we did decide to throw the ball, he kind of gets stuck in no man's land a little bit, so we can catch him sometimes sneaking up there, but it's very difficult to figure out the right time to be able to do that. But a great play by him. I've been very impressed by what he's done both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, he's been more of the star of the show so far. 2nd down and long now for the Vikings. Elliott tries the left side, and it collapses in a hurry as the Vikings get back to the 18-yard line, but it'll leave them a 3rd down and 10 at that point in the Next Tech Wireless Red Zone.
Yeah, and this again is where they stiffened last time. We got to about the 21-yard line, and once they get that goal line right at their back, it feels like they kind of wedge in there a little bit tighter and make it even more difficult to find those open running lanes.
Well, they are cheating. Their linebackers are certainly cheating up right on the hips of their 4 or 3 down linemen. They play kind of a 3-5 look. Now they loosen up a little bit. Vikings in passing formation. Schrog rolling out to the near side, still rolling, looking down the field, still looking. Now he's going to tuck it and run, and he's going to get near the 15-yard line. But that will leave the Vikings a 4th down and 8. I believe there's a penalty. No, I didn't think so. I thought somebody signaled timeout, but it is no penalty, and it's 4th down and 8 for the Vikings at the 16-yard line.
I think the issue there is heading down the field. Lambert ends up getting knocked to the ground by Tice as he runs through there. He gets about 10 yards up the field, takes a pretty good shot. I think that's what they were looking for, is some illegal contact up the field on that rollout.
Yeah, it's too bad Lane didn't see that and want to throw the ball, because he could have got a pass interference or something, but they didn't get that look. 5 seconds is all that's left on the play clock. They're going to have to hurry. Passing formation. Shaw going to roll to the far side, still rolling, looking down the corner of the field, throwing it in the corner of the end zone, and he overthrows. He threw it to the very corner of the end zone. Lambert pulled up. He was hoping Lane would see that he could stop because the defender was deeper than he was, and the Vikings turn it over again on downs inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, one of those elements there where Lambert was running the route, a little wheel route again, a little out and up kind of look, and Lane let the ball go right about the time that Lambert turned to look, so was unable to find the ball up in the air, although, as you pointed out, he did throw it to the very deepest corner of the end zone. There was really only going to be about one chance to catch that ball. No interception, but it doesn't really matter here as Pratt's going to take over at the 16-yard line.
Twice now the Pratt Greenbacks have stopped the Vikings deep inside their own territory. They'll go with their flex bones formation, and Tice will take it on the side and jump in there and get first down yardage on the first run across the 25 up to the 27-yard line. He is a monster, and he's so strong and so quick.
Yeah, very impressive what he does. He gets his running back, his little fullback there, number 6, to kind of lead the way through the hole, and he just plays right behind him and takes off and uses him as a wedge and just continues to stay. Both of those are shorter players, but both quite strong, and they've just both wedged their way through there and pick up a big gain.
5:05 left to go, second quarter. Vikings need to stop Pratt from getting any more points. They lead at 15-0. Tice is going to keep it himself and go through the line of scrimmage and get 7, 8, maybe 9 yards before the play is blown dead. And he just powers his way downfield. He's a strong runner, and he's exhibiting how good he can do.
Yeah, and again, hats off to their line as well. They're doing a fantastic job getting those front four taken care of and giving Tice the opportunity to get up the field into those linebackers and then having a chance to dance around a little bit, use his quickness, and then be able to use his power to finish off the play.
They run out of that flex bone formation. They have a running back behind right outside the corner of each tackle, and they have a fullback. And they take it now. Tice is wrapped up in the backfield. Now he gets away from, and now he gets first down yardage, still on his feet. Second, third, and fourth effort, and finally some Vikings bring him down, but not before he gets up to the 44-yard line on second, third effort, and gets another Pratt first down.
Yeah, he was wrapped up 2 or 3 times on that play before he was able to squirt away. We had somebody, it looked like they got bogged down again, fullback and quarterback both getting mixed up. We actually had a lineman that had a hand on him. A second lineman had a hand on him. A third linebacker had a hand on him before we're finally getting the tackle there by Andrew Peters.
First down and 10 at the 44-yard line for Pratt. Tice dropping back to pass, little floater out in the flat by Reiner, caught, and inside the Viking territory, down and out of bounds at the 34-yard line. So one pass, one completion by the Pratt Greenbacks to the 33-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like it was a little play action. He faked the ball to the fullback, and Court Elliott had a difficult time there as he bit hard on the play. Lane Schrog bit hard on the play, tried to get back into coverage, was unable to do so, even though he is the one to make the tackle. 23-yard gain on their first pass play of the game.
3 receivers to the far side for Pratt on this play. What they had near the goal line, where Tice kept it himself. They just get the Viking defenders out there away from the middle of the field, and now Pratt
play clock was running down there, I think.
Pratt had to call timeout because they didn't have enough time on the play clock. We'll step aside as well. 3:44 left to go before halftime. 15-0 in favor of Pratt. Back after this 30-second timeout.
Big Six is proud to support Salina and the surrounding area because your community is our community. Stop in and secure a high-interest CD today at one of our 2 Salina locations, 1900 South Ohio or 2101 East Crawford. Member FDIC, Bank 6 is a partner you can trust.
Did you know you can purchase custom-etched glassware at the Hemsloyd? It's a perfect one-of-a-kind gift. Hemsloyd Scandinavian Specialties and GlassDecorators.com. Supporting Smoky Valley and Bethany Athletics since 1984.
This is a Smoky Valley Vikings broadcast.
Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where the Vikings have had a couple of good long drives, but been unable to get it into pay dirt. Pratt, on the other hand, has already scored twice, and now they're driving here before halftime. 3:44 left to go. Pratt on top 15-0. Tice puts a man in motion. Now he stops at the top 2 receivers this time on the far side for the Greenbacks. coached by Bethany Grad and personal friend of mine, Jamie Cruz. Tice will go back under center, gone under center all the way. Rolling out the pass, rolling in the flats. Going to go deep down the middle of the end zone. Touchdown. Threw it right there and sliding just past Tim Lambert. Tim went back to look for the ball. And the receiver, number 11, Windsor, kept running and found it. And sliding, caught the pass for a touchdown. And Pratt takes a 21-0 lead.
Yeah, Tim tried to get back there and find contact with number 11, Windsor, as he was trying to make the play, and unfortunately the ball was already in the air. Similar to that last play earlier, that made it difficult for him to be able to get around and see the ball while it was in the air.
Point after kick, up and good, and our score with 3:36 left to go here in the first half. Pratt up 22-0. Back right after this.
Do you feel the need for seed? Now is the time to get in touch with Phelps Seed, your Pioneer sales professional. When you buy before December 5th, you'll not only enjoy Pioneer's award-winning seed and technology, but you'll save big bucks with their early pay discount. Call Phelps Seed, with you from the word go.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by the Bank of Tesket. Generations of confidence, relationships for life. With locations in Lincoln, Salina, Tesket, and Lindsborg. The Bank of Tesket. Member FDIC.
We're the Bank of Tesket.
The Vikings play here.
84 yards is the scoring drive. 6 plays, 42 yards was the scoring drive, and 6 plays, 74 yards. The difference in the game right now, Pratt able to finish off their drives, but we talked about it, running everything on the ground, then all of a sudden he must have heard us. They threw 2 pass plays that covered about 60 yards and found pay dirt.
Yeah, you know, after a while, you start getting the Vikings to bite on that running game because you're down 15-0. Windsor catches his 10th touchdown of the year. All of Tice's passes for touchdowns have been to Windsor. And, of course, Jason's keys to victory earlier in the game, limit turnovers. The Vikings have already had one. 3rd and 4th down conversions. Unfortunately, Smokey is 0 for 2 on 4th down conversions.
Kickoff again, high end over end. Lambert's going to be able to catch it this time about the 15-yard line. Try to kick it up 20, try to get outside, and brought down inside the 25-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 Smoky Valley now with only 3:31 before halftime. And the Vikings simply have been able to drive, but just haven't been able to get into the end zone.
Yeah, statistically, aside from that last big pass, it's been a really close game back and forth. The Vikings have gotten near the 20, but both of their drives have stalled. If you could pick up some points on either of those 2 drives, and if nothing else, both of those drives, we're looking at a really close game right now. Instead, Pratt's been in the driver's seat with the score.
I formation behind Schrog. Here comes Elliott pounding up the middle, and second effort will get Elliott across the 25-yard line. 5-yard gain for Cord Elliott. 2nd down, and, well, I'm going to spot him with 4. It looks like it's going to be 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, another nice grind up the middle, able to pick up some yardage, getting up into that front 4 or front 3, as you pointed out earlier, 3-5 kind of look, basically putting his head down and picking up a few yards, but they're going to need a number of those plays here in the last 3 minutes.
Under center is Lane Schrog handing it off. No, he's going to keep it himself and try the outside, and they're waiting for him. He's going to tuck it and get up near the 28-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and a long 3 for the Vikings, but Lane Schrog has had some success on that play, but they certainly have found ways to defend it as well.
Yeah, number 20, Grant May, coming up from his corner position here to make that play. And again, the Vikings here be a little behind the sticks with a 3rd and 5, only 2:33 left in the half.
Wishbone formation, double tight for the Vikings. Turn and hand it off to Lambert, trying to get the outside edge, and he's very near 1st down yardage. I believe he's got it. 1st and 10, Smoky Valley. They move the chains on the strength of a Tim Lambert. He just also was able to get to the line of scrimmage so quickly that he found a little crease. It didn't take much, but just not getting the big chunks of yardage like the Pratt Greenbacks are able to with 2:20 left to go, and the Vikings trailing 22-0. Winholtz wide to the far side. Peters wide to the near side. Schrog in that pistol look, going downfield, going to throw it to Lambert, and just leads him a little bit. He made a cut on a little out pattern and had a little opening there, but Lane led him just a little bit too much, incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, the player on the edge there was able to come up a little bit on Lane and able to bite from that edge position, number 13, and basically make Lane throw that a little bit quicker than I think he wanted to. Otherwise, I don't think he would have had the lane to be able to throw it into, and they led him just a little bit too far, and that'll set up a 2nd and 10 for the Vikings here on their own 32.
Lane will put a receiver wide each way and go under center with I formation this time. Looks over the defense, turns and hands it off. No, he's going to keep it himself. And there's that Reiner again blitzing in there. They must have some look that they can tell what's going on, because Reiner has been in there. Every time Lane has taken the ball to that far side, he's found some key to allow him to blitz, and he's gotten in the backfield. That's a loss of a yard.
Yeah, Reiner's just spying. Wherever he feels like he can sneak in a hole, he's just punching himself through there wherever he can and looking for the ball. And it's just so happened to be a few of those times the ball's been in Lane's hands. And, of course, we make that fake a lot of times right there into the A-gap to Court Elliott. So you either have a 2 and 3 chance of getting that play made, and he's picked the right guy most of the time.
3rd and 11 for the Vikings. I formation. Lane rolling out to the near side. He's going to try to throw it downfield. Now he's going to have to tuck it and run. Second effort, breaks a tackle and gets up to the 30-yard line. He's going to actually gain a yard on the play. And now Pratt will call their final timeout here. They sense they have a chance to get the ball back. 1:11 left. They'll make the Vikings punt, it looks like. Is there a penalty or no? Just a timeout. We'll keep it right here, as we got to talk a little bit about we've talked a little bit about the musical going on, and you talked a little bit about late night in the Valley coming up, and it looks like the Vikings are going to have a big rally in order to change your plans, and we certainly hope they do.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot with our guys about, we want to get this opportunity here to play some football, make it to that next level. We've never been down 22-0. We haven't been down that much this year. We've been down 14-0, like you mentioned, to Halstead. The opportunities here still got to present themselves. You always tell yourselves, if a team can get up on you 22-0 and a half, you can get those 22 points back in the second half. And so the adjustments we're going to have to make here at halftime, what we're going to have to do, the problem is they're now able to pin their ears back a little bit and go after our runners and still leave guys back on the edges to play our pass. And this is going to be a big stop here. We're going to need to finish off this 1:11.
Snap is good. Kennedy's the punter. It's a high, wobbly kick that won't go very deep, and that's a good thing, as Tice won't be able to return it. It takes a nice Smoky Valley bounce inside the 30 and down to the 26-yard line. That's where Pratt will have it 1st and 10. Under a minute left to go now. The Vikings do a good job of letting it roll every little bit it will. So the clock gets down to 54 seconds. Took an extra 5 or 6 seconds off the clock on just the roll.
That might have been the longest non-returned 44-yard punt I've ever seen as far as time is concerned, because you're right, we had 1:11 and we take it all the way down to the 54-second mark, which is exactly what we needed. However, Tice and the gang here have done a nice job throwing the ball the last time they had the ball. Be interesting to see if they go for something deep here.
1st and 10, Pratt at the 25-yard line. They pull up from center to get the play called that they want. They look over the Viking defense and then change the play. Maybe it's just all a decoy. We don't know exactly what they do with that call. But they will, with their flex bone position, toss to Reiner outside, trying to get his speed to get the corner. And he's got a little bit of room, but the Vikings close it quickly and run him out of bounds about the 32 or 33-yard line, gain of about 7 or 8 on the play.
Yeah, nice play, though, because they're running the play to the edge, and he's able to pick up 8 yards before he's knocked out of bounds, but he does get out of bounds, so he's still able to maintain a lot of clock. Got a nice block out there, but Lane Schrog able to fight his man off, and Carson Windholt's able to come in and help finish off that play as well.
2nd down and 2. Clock did stop because, like Doug said, they ran out of bounds, so it's gives Pratt a little bit of time to call their play. They are out of timeouts. Tice puts a man in motion to the near side, rolling back the pass, going to throw it deep down the sideline for Windsor, and he hauls it in. Great over-the-shoulder catch by Windsor as he goes inside the 30-yard line. Carson Windholt's right there in coverage, but he just threw it over the top and let him run under and get it.
Yeah, nice play up the sideline, 40-yard gain on the pass play from Tice to Windsor. Windsor seems to be one of his favorite targets, and they get the ball deep into Viking territory.
Close-knit group, and then he actually throws a pass incomplete. He spikes the ball to stop the clock. So he's capable of doing it all. He's a heady player, and he knows exactly what he's doing. I knew they put their backs really close in there and spiked the ball. Incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10, but the Vikings D certainly has to stiffen up right here. Tice under center. Here comes a blitz for the Vikings. They pick it up. Tice going to tuck the ball and run. He's got some room. He's across the 20-yard line, and great tackle by Andrew Peters at the 15-yard line.
That was a heck of a play by Andrew Peters because Tice had a head of steam. It was 1-on-1 basically, and Andrew Peters gets to the leg, takes him down at the 15. Still a first down.
Now they're going to spike the ball again. It looks like sometimes you can get away and not do that, and it is 2nd down. Wampler comes across the line of scrimmage there. They're trying to do everything they can to disrupt this Pratt team. Now 19.6 seconds left to go before halftime. What a talented group they have. The wide receiver, Windsor, is exceptional. And the quarterback, Tice, of course, is good too. But the Vikings certainly aren't giving up in this game, but they really have to stiffen up and keep them out of the end zone here. 2nd down and 10. Man in motion, Windsor. Toss to Windsor, trying to get outside. Trying to get a tackle on him and drive him out of bounds, and they do. Good effort by the Vikings over there. Carson Winholtz brings him out of bounds, but not before he picks up about 7 or 8 and gets down to near the 10-yard line. And we got a Viking injured on the play.
Yeah, nice run. That was actually Reiner getting off on the edge there. Reiner and Windsor seem to be the two getting the most action here tonight for Pratt. Looked like Lane Schrog was coming in, got a little bit of a crackback block from Windsor, but unfortunately they kind of sandwiched him right in between Windsor and Conrad Peterson, who was also in pursuit at the same time, and that caused him to go down there. Kind of an awkward fall, but basically getting pinned between the two players. So they'll administer some help out here to Lane, and hopefully he'll pop up here in a second.
With just 13.3 seconds left to go before halftime, yeah, they are helping him to his feet now, so we hope he'll have the time to shake off that injury, and he looks like he's going to be jogging back to the huddle now. He'll have to sit out one play on this one, but Lane Schrog, a tough competitor all year long.
Yeah, he has been, and the Vikings, again, just have not quite found the real estate they're so used to finding here throughout the season. And defensively, we have not really had an answer for what Tice has brought, both in the run game and in the pass game. The passes they've thrown have been nearly flawless as far as where he's wanted to put the ball.
Man in motion again. Tice looking back to pass, looking downfield, still looking, and throw it in the corner of the end zone, overthrows his intended receiver, Windsor again.
I couldn't tell. Was that Kaler back there he was looking for in the end zone? Was that a 13?
I think it's 11, but I can't. It's so far away, I can't see. I don't have any field glasses.
I think that was number 13 back there.
Right.
He did overthrow him in the back of the end zone. I think he had him.
Kohler.
He had an opportunity to throw him the pass there and just put it a little bit high to him.
They're going to go for a field goal here with 7.2 seconds to go and 4th down and 4. Just watching him warm up. He's got the leg to get it that far. Field goal attempt. Snap is good. The kick is up. The kick is plenty long and good. And our score with 2.9 seconds left to go. Pratt on top 25-0. Back with the opening or the ensuing kickoff right after this.
Join the Lindsborg Hospital Auxiliary at their fall fundraiser on Wednesday, September 12th. Homemade sloppy joes with all the trimmings. For a free will donation, will support the Auxiliary's hospital projects. You'll find a hot lunch, or you can make joes to go on Wednesday, September 12th from 11 to 1:30 at the Trinity United Methodist Church. You can even join the hospital auxiliary for just $10 a year. Bring your appetite, bring a friend, and we'll see you there.
This is a Rocking M broadcast of the Smoky Valley Vikings.
Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here, where Pratt will have a kickoff to go before the half as they drive 85 yards. No, how far was that drive after the kick? 75 yards. And the field goal was how many yards?
25.
25-yard field goal.
Some scores going on around the state right now. Smith Center up on Sedgwick 41-14. That's at the half. Plainville now up 29-13 on Elkhart. Derby tied with Topeka 7-all. Andale and Scott City involved in a pretty good game right now, 14-7. Andale on top there. McPherson 19-7 over Ark City. Conway Springs up 18-10 on Phillipsburg. And Great Bend right now up 14-10 on Mays High School.
Sanchez, another kickoff. It's a squibber on the ground, going to get picked up by Andrew Peters at the 30-yard line, trying to zigzag and get outside and get a little room, but he's going to be wrapped up, and that will be the end of the first half. Halftime is here, and our score, Pratt on top, 25-0. We'll be back to wrap up this half for you after this timeout.
Area athletes and even weekend warriors have a big home field advantage. Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic, working with athletes of every level to help prevent injuries or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation.
For your halftime entertainment, the Wildfires will be dancing tonight to the Top 40 Mix. The Wildfires are Captain Taylor Barnes, Captain Elena McMillan, Carissa Kendallsberger, Tarek Elliott, Whitley McElroy, Grayson Bauer, Braden DeSalt, Riley Ebert, and Emma Litt. I'll never be the same. I'll never be the same. Kickoff Wildfires.
To nothing. And the Vikings took it again and drove it down, highlighted by a big Court Elliott run, but got it down inside the 20-yard line again and turned it over on downs again. And then Pratt did what they do best. Took it 5 plays, 84 yards. This time 2 big pass plays. Culminated in a 33-yard pass from Tice to Windsor. Point after kick was good, and with 3:36 left to go, it was 22-0. The Vikings took it and tried to drive, but they couldn't go anywhere, punted the ball away, and then Pratt quickly drove and got a 25-yard field goal with 2 seconds left to go to make it a 25-0 lead at halftime. And it has certainly been all Pratt on the scoreboard, but how does it look on the stats?
Stats, Pratt almost doubling up Smoky Valley in the first half for total offense. Pratt with 262 yards on 24 plays to Smoky Valley's 31 plays, 133 yards. Pratt through the air, 96 yards, Smoky Valley, 34. Rushing, Pratt, 166 yards, Smoky Valley, 99. Penalties, Smoky Valley, 2 penalties for 10 yards to Pratt's 0. One of the keys to the game was 3rd down and 4th down completion percentage. Pratt 2 for 4 on 3rd down, 50% to Smoky Valley's 4 for 7 with 57%. Pratt has not gone for it on 4th down yet, and Smoky Valley 0 for 2 on 4th down. Individually, Pratt, Travis, Tice 3 for 4 passing for 96 yards, 1 touchdown. On the ground, Travis Tice 13 carries, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns. That puts him over 6,200 yards for his career, and he's been over 100 yards in 20 of the last 21 games that he's played. Cadence Reiner, 5 carries for 52 yards.
Looks like
receiving. Brett Windsor, 2 catches for 73 yards, 1 touchdown. Cadence Reiner, 1 catch for 23 yards. Leading the way, tackling for Pratt, Cadence Reiner, 6 tackles. Snyder, 5 tackles. Kaler and Blankenship, 4 tackles. Hunter Huber, 3.5 tackles. Bates and Tice Everett with 2 tackles as well. Sanchez made the 25-yard field goal. That is his career long. Earlier in the year, he had a 23-yarder. For Smoky Valley, passing Lane Schrock, 2 for 5, 34 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. Rushing for Smoky Valley, Court Elliott, 9 carries for 78 yards. Tim Lambert, 9 carries for 16 yards. Lane Schrog, 7 carries for 3 yards. And Raleigh Wilson with 1 carry for 2 yards. Receiving, Dax Hop, 1 catch for 20 yards. Tim Lambert, 1 catch for 14 yards. Defensively leading the way, Lane Schrog, 3.5 tackles. Carson Windholtz, 3.5 tackles. Tim Lambert with 3. Court Elliott, Andrew Peters, 2.5. Matthew Adams, 1.5. John Burks, Blake Hebel, and Conrad Peterson, 0.5.
Excellent job, and the Vikings on the scoreboard trail worse than the stats. The stats aren't so bad. If we could just get a couple of big plays, we'd be getting closer, but 25-0 is the score on the scoreboard. We'll take another timeout. We come back. We'll talk about some more stats, some more things coming up. You're listening to Smoky Valley Football. Pratt is ahead in the sectional game by the score of 25-0. Back after this timeout.
Here in our league to have guys like that, you know, be able to pull both sets of groups out here and be able to perform. And again, hats off to all those people tonight, both the Smoky Valley side, the Pratt side, the student section that we've got here, the Wildfires, like you pointed out, performing here in the blistering cold. And now, like you said, it's time for our guys to perform here in the second half. And like you said, biggest key, we've got to get that first stop, and we've got to get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, no question about that. That'll be huge. We'll take our final timeout. When we come back, we'll talk about opening. I think I don't know if they'll put more time on the clock again or not. They have another 3 minutes left. Jared, let's take a 3-minute timeout, and then we'll be back with more halftime. Pratt on top, 25-0. Back right after this.
Area athletes and even weekend warriors have a big home field advantage. Salina Regional's Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic. Working with athletes of every level to help prevent injuries or to heal through surgery and rehabilitation. You can count on Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic to get you back in the game. Led by orthopedic surgeon Dr. Timothy Hawks and sports medicine physician Dr. Matthew Pyle, along with an A-team of certified athletic trainers and physical therapists, Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic supports 5 area high schools, providing their athletes the highest quality, most timely care. At the school, on the field, or in our clinic, we're ready wherever and whenever you need us to help you get back in the game and keep you in the game. Salina Regional Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Clinic. The home field advantage starts here. Visit us at salinaregionalsportsmedicine.com.
Overhead Door Company of North Central Kansas invites you to visit their website at odcnck.com. Once there, you can look over the products that Overhead Door offers for commercial and residential installation and repair. Overhead Door Company services all of North Central Kansas.
Lowest rates, flexible plans, exceptional customer service, and coverage for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to being just a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless.
People's Bank and Trust is proud to support the Lindsborg community and the athletes at Smoky Valley High School and Bethany College. I'm Ryan Biegert, branch manager at the Lindsborg location for People's Bank and Trust, a proud native of Lindsborg, and I'm ready to be your banker. People's Bank and Trust, meeting the needs of our community and always improving the way we do business. Located at 201 South Main in Lindsborg, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Go Vikes and go Swedes.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
Ask for Kasasa.
Warning.
Free Kasasa checking may lead to a rise in disposable income due to cashback on everyday debit card purchases, refunds on ATM fees, and elimination of so-called service fees. Increased satisfaction may result while operating your debit card. If you suffer from chronic money loss, search for Kasasa online.
This has been a financial health advisory courtesy of Kasasa. It's like money medicine for your shopping habit.
Offered locally at the Bank of Tuscan. Member FDIC. Dr. Luke Rosebrough has joined the Lindsborg Community Hospital and Family Health Care Clinic. Board certified in family medicine, Dr. Rosebrough is accepting new patients for all members of your family. Well child care and healthcare management for acute and chronic conditions. Call the clinic for an appointment at 785-227-3371. Visit lindsborghospital.org for more information. Celebrating 75 years in 2019, we are your partner in healthcare.
This is a Smoky Valley Vikings broadcast.
Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where halftime is here. They did put 3 minutes back on so that both teams can warm up. Smoky Valley brought their whole team out. Pratt just brought about a handful of special teams out. Maybe they're going to take us on. They've got about 60 guys out. They got a really big squad for Coach Jamie Cruz. But as the season winds down, we always get in this transition. It's actually buffer week this week. Is that correct?
That is correct. Nobody in the gyms at all this week until we get ready to start the season on Monday. And again, that's girls and boys basketball. That's also wrestling. And then we'll get our winter sports season underway. And again, the task here at hand is to take care of business here for the football team. But of course, those kids that are in cross country or those kids that didn't have a winter or fall sport, chomping at the bit for the opportunity to get ready to roll. And of course, those girls that have been done playing volleyball or doing cross country ready to get going as well.
Tennis.
Tennis. And we're ready to get the ball going here on Monday with practices after school. Middle school already got started with their games this week. And of course, like we talked about earlier, late night in the Valley, scheduled for Friday starting at 5:30. For those of you that have done that before, you know it's a great night for our athletes, both girls and boys, and of course the girls under the new direction of head coach Larry Vanderweg. Great chance for them to play in front of some people after a week of practice. It's a fun night. First Bank Kansas is sponsoring our tailgate again this year with the hamburgers, hot dogs, be able to have some beans, different sides. And then, of course, our Chinese auction. A lot of things we've got going there. We've got 2015-16 autographed KU basketball. That would be Perry Ellis's senior year. We've got 2 tickets to a KU Iowa State Big Monday game. I think that's January the 21st in Lawrence. I believe we're also lining up some tickets to a K-State Texas game as well. Some tickets potentially the Opera House in McPherson, as well as dinner. Always fun to kind of see what develops there and what kind of opportunities. Of course, the opportunity then to see our players perform as well, all the way across the board from freshmen through our seniors, and also the opportunity to see the girls program as well.
And an opportunity to win a prize of joining me on a broadcast. Not that that's such a special thing, but it is kind of fun.
Jason and I jumped at the chance.
It is. It is. Well, I gave you the opportunity to coach from the scores table. I mean, I'm right behind the scores table, so you could do the color and then do your coaching at the same time.
You usually hear me enough over the air, it probably doesn't matter. So you probably know most of what we're doing. So
you think they do
guest coaching? Saturday night if the Vikings can make a big comeback and win. Otherwise, it's Friday night. But the Vikings certainly have an uphill task, and Pratt will get the ball first, so the Vikings are going to have to kick off. This will be their first kickoff of the night. Johan Rockhold will be able to put the ball down there and get something started. But you're right, we need to get a stop right off the bat and then get a drive together and put some points. The third quarter has been our big quarter all year long, so maybe it's something that we can do. What was that stat, Jason? 100 and some points to 8 points or something like that?
102-16 in the third quarter so far this year.
102-16. So we need to have one of those third quarters here to see if we can put something together. Deep for the Greenbacks will be Travis Tice and Reiner, it looks like. So they're deep for Pratt. They seem to be up on where they're going to kick. They're trying to decide. They're right around the 20-yard line. Rockhold will kick from the near hash mark, and we are ready to go. Say some good thoughts and see if the Vikings can put together a comeback. It's a squibber, it's on the ground, and it's going to go out of bounds. So Pratt will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. What are we up to on our listeners out there?
We had a good night out there. We were over 600. We're at 653 right now as we open up the second half. And like you and I talked about, going to be extremely important here for the Vikings to get a stop on this first drive. And even better if we could knock the ball out of his hands or one of the players' hands, get a turnover, and maybe be able to get into the end zone here in the first 2.5 minutes. We definitely cannot allow a grinded-out drive in which they take up 5, 6, 7 minutes off the clock and try to put 4 scores up after that.
Burks, Wampler, Grosslin, and Peterson, the front 4 for the Vikings. Man in motion. Tice is going to hand it off to the fullback. Number 6, his first carry of the night, I believe, taken down by Burks and Wampler. The linebackers are Adams and Elliott and Hebel. Corners are Peters and Winholtz. Is Lane Schrog not out there? He's out as a safety. Peters, and they've switched sides there a little bit. Peters has gone to corner and Schrog has gone to one of the safeties. Tice under center again. He's going to take it himself, following everybody and going down. Good tackle by Lane Schrog, but Tice over the top of him and gets 2 first down yardage at the 45-yard line.
Early adjustment by the Vikings. You can tell not as pleased with their front 7 and their ability to get the stop before Tice gets too deep. And so they move Peters over. Schrog a little bit harder of a hitter out of the gate here. And so I think they move him into this middle area to be able to kind of cheat up a little bit if we can and be able to take advantage of getting in there and getting stops a little bit quicker.
But a first down on 2 plays for Travis Tice and company. He's going to take the ball down the line of scrimmage, gets away from one tackler up near midfield, and he'll cross midfield and get down to the 49-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
It's back-to-back plays where Lane Schrog's had to come in here and make the finish. Again, anticipating from his safety position now, being able to get over to the edge. And Tice, a lot like the Vikings again, so mirror image here. He does such a nice job of taking time off the clock. That last snap didn't come till under 5 on the clock. You can see they're kind of being very patient right now. Not even going to go under center till we hit close to 8. And then he's going to take the snap and really milk as much time off as they can.
Flex bone position, puts a man in motion. Tice is going to keep it himself. He's going to get into traffic and be short of the first down. He'll get down to the 46-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and a long 1, short 2 for the Greenbacks on their first possession. They lead at 25-0. Vikings need a stop, need a turnover, need something to put some fire in their bellies.
Yeah, 2 minutes off the clock already here just on this drive, and they've already moved it up. It is a big 3rd down play. Vikings need to stiffen here.
Man in motion, there's a jump offside. One of the interior guys for Smoky Valley gets into that neutral zone. It's encroachment in high school. In college, you can jump back, but looks like it was Nate Groslin that jumps across, and that'll be a 5-yard penalty. First down by Penley. Only the 3rd penalty for the Vikings, I believe. He said just 2 in the first half, but coming at critical times.
Yeah, but you've got to try to sell out a little bit and get back there. You know it's
Absolutely.
a 3rd and short, and you know Tice is so good at picking up that kind of yardage, so you've got to try to get up there a little bit.
Tice is going to do the counter play, give it to Reiner. He's got some room. That wasn't Reiner. That's number 15, the other back in the backfield, Blankenship. And he'll get about 6 on the carry down to the 35-yard line. Then I'll mark it at the 34.
Yeah, nice counter look. He ran right by Wampler there, who had gotten through on the edge. Of course, they're bringing that guy around, so they want him to get through. Kind of came right by him, hit that hole on the left side or far side of the field, and he's able to have a nice 7-8-yard gain on that play.
2nd down and 3, we'll call it. 9:13 left to go, 3rd quarter. The opening drive for Pratt, leading 25-0. Tice is going to keep it himself and get first down yardage to the 30-yard line. He's kind of a Le'Veon Bell kind of runner. He just slowly waits and waits and waits. You can see his feet are churning, waiting to find that little gap, and then lunges forward. And he's just got the quickness and power to get yardage after contact.
Yeah, if he was a true Le'Veon Bell player, he'd still be holding out and we wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That would be a good thing. But he is certainly talented. 1st and 10, Pratt at the 30-yard line of Smoky Valley now on their opening drive of the quarter. And you're right, he just waits till that play clock gets in single figures before he goes under center. Toss to Reiner on the outside. The Vikings are going to try to string this one out and do. And they'll drive Reiner out of bounds and no gain on the play, but that play certainly was strung out by the good Viking edge players.
Tell you, that started again by Schrog flying up there and taking on the blocker. I think that blocker that time was Blankenship. He was able to stretch the play out just a little bit more and give a chance for Conrad Peterson to get over there, and I couldn't tell if that was Lambert over there to help finish off that play on the sideline as well.
Wide receiver Windsor to the far side. Nice under center. Now they'll get up from the ready for play and get the play call they want from the sideline. Tice will look back at his fullback and wait for the play clock to get to 7 or 6. And he goes under center now at 5, 4, 3. Man in motion. Tice is going to do that counter play again to Reiner. Reiner spins and gets inside the red zone at the 20-yard line before he's tackled by Lambert and Hebel, but not before he picks up first down yardage and gets into the Next Tech Wireless red zone.
Yeah, Pratt is in the Next Tech Wireless red zone. Lowest rates, flexible plans, and exceptional customer service for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to being just a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless. That counter is something new this half. They didn't run that much in the first half and did a nice job of being able to still move the ball. Now you throw that extra wrinkle in and you're trying to bite hard on plays. It's difficult to get that stopped.
Tyson's going to keep it himself down the line of scrimmage. Elliott's got him, and he gets no gain on the play. First time he's had almost a negative play. And Cord Elliott reading that and coming down along the line of scrimmage with Matt Adams. Good effort by the Viking D.
Tell you the other one there, Conrad Peterson holding up his guy on the edge and then allowing also Wampler and Groslin to get in there and help finish off that play. But once Conrad got that defender on that far side held up, that gave Elliott and the rest of the guys time to get in and make that play.
We need to do what they did to us and get them in the red zone and then stop them from scoring here. So the Viking D really needs to rise to the occasion now. Tice is going to keep it. No, he's going to hand it off to the big fullback, and he gets inside the 5-yard line. Blast up the middle, second carry for the big fullback, and he rumbles down inside the 5. First and goal, Pratt, 7:25 left to go, opening drive in the third quarter, and Pratt just doesn't seem to have a weakness.
No, they're doing such a nice job mixing and matching and bringing guys in, like you said, that have not run the ball a whole lot and just continuing to put pressure on that Viking defense that's got, to be honest, getting a little tired out there. You know, they've been on the field a long time and had to make some big plays, and they've just continued to come right after us.
Waiting and patiently going under center, puts a man in motion. Now again, the counter play, Blankenship down near the goal line. I don't believe they're going to let him get in. I think they're going to say he's just a foot short of the goal line. Blankenship with a 4-yard carry. Going to set up second down and goal from the 1-yard line.
Tell you, Adams was the first one to get a hold of him, and a couple other Vikings getting in there, and a little bit of a chip shot in there between a couple of players, number 63 for Pratt and John Burks for the Vikings, both of them, and cooler heads prevailed there at the end of that play. But Adams in there, and like I said, there was another Viking, and they were able to get him turned around just at the last second. I think that was Lambert keeping him from getting in.
And now they take it in and put it in for the touchdown with 6:28 to go. A 1-yard touchdown carry by, I didn't even see who got it. Did Tice take it himself?
Yeah, we're going to see here in just a second. I'm pretty sure it was Tice just over that left side. Still a tough yard. The Vikings really battled hard to try to keep Tice from getting in the end zone that time, and he didn't make it by much. But the problem was they didn't have much to go.
Point after kick by Pratt is up. It is good, and our score was 6:28 left to go. Third quarter, Pratt on top, 32-0. Back after this timeout.
Big Six is proud to support Salina and the surrounding area because your community is our community. Stop in and secure a high-interest CD today at one of our 2 Salina locations, 1900 South Ohio or 2101 East Crawford. Member FDIC, Bank 6 is a partner you can trust.
Farmers State Bank of Lindsborg, located at 447 Harrison Street, is proud to support the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes. Good luck, Vikings, and good luck, Swedes. Member FDIC.
The Vikings play here.
And back at Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College. Don Binkson, Doug Snyder, Jason Snyder with you for the play-by-play and stats, and Jared Bass doing a great job for us once again. But Pratt did what they do best. They put that drive together, a 12-play, 65-yard drive taking 5 minutes and 32 seconds, and was the longest drive they've had so far, but they did what they do and got it into the red zone and got it into the end zone, where the Vikings haven't been able to do that all night.
Yeah, they are everything that's advertised and more. I mean, they've been really impressive. We've talked all year about how strong that Viking defense has been, the quickness, the strength, and they have matched that toe-to-toe here with their offense and been able to get up and down the field for 322 yards through just over 2.5 quarters. They've scored in each of the quarters. The Vikings have been able to shut people down normally.
High end over and kick. Lambert's going to be able to receive it at the 12, 15-yard line, up to the 20. Going to try to get it outside near side and come out over and finally run out of real estate at the 24-yard line. So their quickness shows on special teams too, as they're able to get down there. Even though Tim caught that in ready to run position, he just couldn't find a seam to go anywhere.
Two very well-coached teams. You know, you talked about Jamie Cruz over there and what a nice job he does. And, of course, we know the fantastic job Coach Lambert and his staff do. But guys are staying in their spots and doing their jobs on both teams. And right now, Pratt's just executing just a bit better than we are.
Wishbone formation for Smoky Valley. Strong under center, trying to get Lambert outside. And there comes a blitzing Reiner again. He was late to get on the field, and he just comes over there and runs, and he just kept running and zipped in there, found the gap, and tackled Lambert before he could get a gain. He actually lost a yard on the play. Tim Lambert with only 16 yards on his 9 carries in the first half. Way under par for Tim Lambert.
I am glad you saw that, though, because Reiner never stopped running when he came in from the side of the field.
I know, he did.
And just kept going over here to the near side, hit a gap, and makes the tackle for a 1-yard loss.
Yeah, it's just simply Pratt's night to do what they do best. Wishbone formation again, turn and hand it off. No, it's a pass by Schrog, streaking Lambert down the middle of the field, and Blake Hebel and Lambert kind of run together a little bit. Travis Tice tries to pick off the pass, but he's unable to, and just not quite enough to get it over the top.
Yeah, nice little play-action look there. Tried to throw it up, actually into double coverage. And I think he had a better shot at it maybe than Blake thought. Tice was coming up behind him. Another defender on the far side of the field slipped, and it looked like the ball might have been just a little bit behind Hebel. Not sure if he could find it real well, but if he does make that catch, he was actually past both defenders and might have been able to take it all the way to the end zone.
Now third down and 11 for the Vikings. They go back to wishbone formation. They've thrown out of this position one time. Rolling out is Schrog down in the flat, and he throws it to Hop, and he throws it behind him. He was getting pressured as he let go of the ball by Reiner, and the ball incomplete. So the Vikings, after needing to get some offense generated, their first possession is a 3-and-out.
Yeah, there's Reiner's name again. He just continues to come in there and make plays. I've been, as we pointed out, extremely impressed by what he's done offensively and defensively tonight. Just a lot of quickness and strength on this Pratt squad. They are a very, very good football team.
Put 11 up on the line of scrimmage, a high snap kick away by Kennedy, and it's going to sail out of bounds. Doesn't even get to midfield. He kicked it from the 20. The line of scrimmage was a 24-yard line, and it'll go to the 43, so it'll only be a 19-yard kick.
Yeah, it looked like he got pressure off the edges. Looked like they faked pressure up the middle, brought 2 guys in off the edges as they bailed everybody else out. Ball might have come a little bit off the side of his foot. As you pointed out, it ends up being a short punt on behalf of the Vikings, and again gives Pratt here a short field to try to take advantage of and milk some more time off the clock, as we're already down to the 5:35 mark here in the third quarter.
Wide receiver is Windsor to the far side, flex bone formation with 2 runners outside the tackle box. And the fullback, Tice is going to keep it himself, and he's got a little bit of running room. Spins away from one tackler down inside the 20 and breaks another tackle, and he'll take it in from the 42-yard line. So a one-play 42-yard drive, breaking tackles as he went. And the Vikings certainly have found themselves in a deep, deep hole.
Yeah, he was able to break at least 3 tackles there once he got through that first wave, gets into that second level and has, basically he's so fast and physical. Lambert has a chance with an arm tackle. Schrog got in there. Peters got in there. It looked like maybe Windholt's trying to come from the edge, and they end up running into each other, and he just takes it to the house, a 42-yard run for the score.
Kick after point is good, and our score with 5:25 left to go in the third quarter. Pratt 39, Smoky Valley 0. Back after this timeout.
There are few things more important in banking than partnering with people you know. At Bank 6, they pride themselves on being community-driven and helping customers make the best decisions with their finances. Whether it's a personal account or business loan, Bank 6 is there for you. Come see how you can secure a high-interest CD today and put the power of compounding to work. Bank 6 with 2 locations in Salina, 1900 South Ohio and 2101 East Crawford. Bank 6 is a partner you can trust. Member FDIC.
This is a Rockingham broadcast of the Smoky Valley Vikings.
Back at Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, the Pratt Greenbacks just continue to have their way with the Smoky Valley Viking defense. Travis Tice is just almost untackleable right now as he takes it one play 42 yards in 10 seconds, and he just broke tackle after tackle on the way, and he's just so strong and powerful that the Vikings just weren't able to bring him down. And after a 3-and-out and a short kick, they give the ball back. Here is the ensuing kickoff, and Tim Lambert will let it roll into the end zone. Look at that. It stops 1 yard into the end zone, so barely.
My chips never look like that on the green. They never do that. No. They're going to take off and head over the other way. You mentioned Tice, 20 carries, 177 yards, 4 touchdowns, as well as 3 for 4 in the air, 96 yards, and throwing for a score. He's an impressive back. He's an impressive athlete. You know, we knew him coming in. He had been starting already for the 3rd straight year. He was a pretty impressive fullback in their system.
Tailback,
fullback when he was a sophomore.
2 years ago.
Exactly, and he just continues to be that way. So, again, hats off to him, hats off to this Pratt team and how well they're playing.
Wishbone formation handed off to Tim Lambert trying to get outside right side, and he's upended there by Windsor, who plays a cornerback, comes off his coverage and stops Tim for about a 3-yard gain, 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, just not able to find as many running lanes here on the Vikings side of the ball. And, of course, when you're already down 39-0, you really are looking for big plays. And yet most of our big plays have come out of the run this year.
2nd down and 7. Trog under center, wishbone formation. Elliott pounding up in the middle. It gets across the 25 up to the 26-yard line. It'll be stopped there. It'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Vikings.
Yeah, another nice Elliott run right up the middle. But again, that front 3 there of Pratt, number 74, able to get in there. That's Snyder again. He makes the tackle, but with a little bit of help from the other big fellas there in the middle.
3rd down, wishbone formation for Smoky Valley. Turn and hand it off to Tim Lambert. He trying the middle, and he gets met by Tice right at the line of scrimmage and falls forward for a yard carry. But not only is Tice a good athlete to run the team on offense, he's a good tackler as well, and he met Tim there, and there was no gain either way, but it was just a great tackle.
Yeah, Tice was able to discard of a blocker there, be able to get him out of the way, and still be able to get up the field to make a pretty solid hit on Lambert on the run.
Vikings in their own territory know if you don't make a 1st down here, you're going to give the ball back to them in good field position. But they feel like their strength is running up there, and Cord Elliott's going to try to get to the 1st down yardage, and I believe he might have made it 2nd and 3rd effort by Cord Elliott. And he does make the 1st down, albeit by maybe the length of the football.
I tell you, we talk about having 7 in the box, 8 in the box, 9 in the box. Pratt is putting 11 guys up there in that box. They are going to make it really difficult to run. But despite that, Cord Elliott was still able to pick up 3 yards and pick up a Viking 1st down.
Well, 1st and 10, Smoky Valley. They're first in the second half, and a half in which they wanted to score a lot of points. And Pratt has been able to stop them. Here's Tim dodging a tackler and streaking upfield a little bit to get about 3, maybe 4 yards on the carry. 2nd down and 6 for the Vikings. One of Tim's better runs, and he just kind of slow played that a little bit at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he was able to string that play along there on an offensive perspective until he could finally find a gap, and eventually did find something, able to pick up 3 yards there here on the near side.
Good blocking by Blake Hebel on that one. Again, wishbone formation for the Vikings. Here comes Cord Elliott pounding it up the middle, and Cord Elliott will take a couple of tacklers, including Snyder that you had mentioned, and big number 77 as well in there, and he'll get up to the 38-yard. It'll be third down and 2 for the Vikings.
This really hasn't been an issue tonight. Smoky Valley's been able to do this most of the night. It's been up and down here. It's been when we get to the 20-yard line that we've struggled.
Big third down for the Vikings. Lane Schrog drops the ball, but he's able to get first down yardage. So Lane Schrog, we've seen him do that a couple of times, maybe more during the season. The snap exchange, he fumbles a little bit, but picks it up and still gets positive yardage. And a first down, Smoky Valley, up to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, nice job by Lane. Nice recovery by him as that ball bounces. And again, a little bit of a fortuitous bounce for the Vikings as it pops right back up to him. He's able to get the ball off the right side there on a busted play, able to pick up the first down.
Yeah, on third down, that's extremely important. Wishbone formation again. Here comes Tim Lambert trying the outside. He gets tripped up by number 2 in there on the tackle. That's Everett making the tackle, on arm tackle, but Tim gets about 3 up to the 44-yard line, second down and 7.
Yeah, like we said before, they've got at least 9 guys up there on their 2 levels, basically ready to get back into the backfield as quickly as possible. Tice was in there early. He was able to make Lambert turn the ball up a little quicker than he wanted to, and Windsor able to finish it off.
Second down and 7, 1:35 left to go in the third quarter. Vikings trailing 39-0. Wow, everybody but Schrog and John Burks and Schrog were standing there. Everybody else took off. So a big penalty, again, coming at costly times. The Vikings having it second down and 7. Now it's second down and 12, so they get behind the sticks a little bit. And you never know what's the cause of that play, but it just looks funny.
9 of them got off the ball very quickly. Let's say that.
Yeah, no question.
Again, hard to say exactly what happened there, but it does put the Vikings back here. And this has, again, been an issue. You get that second and 12. Now you got to make a decision how to pick up some of those yards.
Shaw going to roll out the pass in the flat far side down the field, looking for Pywell. Caught. Chase Pywell with a catch inside Pratt territory at the 40-yard line, turns it upfield and gets to the 37-yard line. Great effort by Chase.
Yeah, beautiful throw. He actually threads the needle between 3 guys there, able to hit Pywell, and he's able to take the ball up the field for a 27-yard gain for the Vikings.
Big play, Smoky Valley. Chase Pywell, I haven't heard from him. I don't think he's had a, of course, we just don't throw the ball that often, but he got in the right spot at the right time. Here comes Raleigh Wilson trying the right side, and Raleigh Wilson will get 3, maybe 4 yards on the carry. Good effort by Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, and we continue to bring guys into the game. You know, you mentioned Pywell. He's one of those guys that subs into the wishbone formation at the tight end spot a lot of times and just mixes and matches a little bit. Sometimes then we see Lambert coming out now. Looks like he injured the hip just a little bit earlier on one of the hits. He comes out, and they're going to look at him here for a second.
Kennedy and Wilson are behind Cord Elliott. Cord Elliott finds a little room up the right side, and he gets near the first down yardage, but it looks like it'll be just short inside the 30 down at the 28-yard line. Got to get to the 27, so it's going to be third down and 1.
Yeah, a lot of punishing running in there. You've got a number of guys in there, including Tice stepping in to get the wrap up and help to make the play, but a lot of bodies up there in the middle as the Vikings end the third quarter, still driving.
Still driving. The quarter ends with the score 39-0 in favor of Pratt. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this timeout.
Whether on the field, court, or in the operating room, experience matters. A coach loves an experienced team just like a patient values an experienced doctor. Salina Ortho has ABOS board-certified physicians with over 40 years of orthopedic service. If you need help staying active or just want to discuss options regarding the newest techniques and services and specialties that Salina Ortho provides, see one of our trusted physicians or visit SalinaOrtho.com. Salina Ortho, your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
Down 39-0. It's an even steeper hill to climb for the Vikings, but it's been a simply sensational season, and we don't want to say that it's over yet, but I'm not sure that any team would have the ability to come back from and score 39 points on this Pratt team. We have given up 0 points to the Vikings so far tonight. Third down and 1 in the first play of the fourth quarter. Vikings will go with that wishbone formation they've gone with almost this entire 5-minute drive. Cord Elliott pounds it up the middle, and he'll get first down yardage across the 25. So 1st and 10, Smoky Valley on the first play of the fourth quarter, trailing 39-0 here on a cold, cold night in November football.
Yeah, hats off to the Vikings, still continuing to try to push that line, get him as much space as he can get as he gets through there, trying to get to those second levels.
Again, wishbone formation. Here comes Tim Lambert trying the outside. He kicks it back toward the middle, and he'll get down into the Next Tech Wireless red zone.
Lowest rates, flexible plans, and exceptional customer service for everywhere you are. Say goodbye to being just a number. Say hello to something different at Next Tech Wireless.
Trey Kennedy down for the Vikings. He was out early a couple of games in the season, but he's been back and been a Warrior ever since, but looks like he's holding his left ankle a little bit. So to the injury timeout, we'll step aside as well. Timeout on the field for an injury. Vikings trail 39-0 back after this 30-second timeout.
Join the Lindsborg Hospital Auxiliary at their fall fundraiser on Wednesday, September 12th. Homemade sloppy joes with all the trimmings. For a free will donation, will support the Auxiliary's hospital projects. You'll find a hot lunch, or you can make joes to go on Wednesday, September 12th from 11 to 1:30 at the Trinity United Methodist Church. You can even join the hospital auxiliary for just $10 a year. Bring your appetite, bring a friend, and we'll see you there.
This is a Smoky Valley Vikings broadcast.
Here around the area, I'm going to congratulate the Wichita State Shockers. We'll have to check the K-State men are also playing. What do you got for other football scores, Doug?
Other scores around the way. Derby up 24-7 on Topeka. Andale up 21-7 on Scott City. That's in the third. Mays and Great Bend knotted at 21, also in the third. McPherson up on Ark City 34-7. That was at the half. Hoisington, our other league school, going tonight up 12-0 on Hutch Trinity. Solomon up on Attica 14-6. South Central 38-26 over Canton Galva at the half.
Out of the timeout, the Vikings have it 3rd and 4, and there's Reiner coming in and making heyday back in the backfield with he gets in there and hits the lane before he even gets rid of the ball, and then he gets rid of it, and I think he handed it off to Raleigh Wilson, didn't he?
He did. He got the ball to Wilson. I think it might have been Tice, actually, that got back there as quick as he did. And it's hard to say because it's been Reiner or Tice most of the night, but that was just he lined himself up in the gap and just shot the gap extremely quick and was able to get through there before the Vikings had a chance to get him blocked.
Smoky Valley will call a timeout. We'll keep this one right here. K-State men are up by 10 at home. Late second or mid-second half.
4 minutes left.
4 minutes left in the ball game. Up in the ball game or the first half?
In the ball game.
Really? 39-49? Wow, low-scoring game. K-State with a lot of aspirations after their great Elite Eight performance last year on the basketball court, and certainly a lot of things. Did you have some more scores? We did maybe got cut off a little bit before we got to all of them.
We'll get some more scores here in a little bit. We also don't want to forget to remind you we'll catch some scores at the end of this game. And the Rockingham Media Scoreboard Show tonight, brought to you locally by RE/MAX Advantage Realtors from 10 to 11 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL. Get a recap of this game, scores from the area, and other wraps from other Rockingham media stations. That's the Rockingham Media Scoreboard Show, brought to you locally by RE/MAX Advantage Realtors from 10 to 11 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL.
And congratulations to both Bethany men and women's basketball team. They're in a tournament over at Hillsboro, both victorious today. The girls by just 2 points, but that's a big victory. Here comes the wishbone formation. Here comes Tim Lambert trying to get outside. Tim Lambert trying to get the edge, and he'll be run out of bounds. A gain of about 5 yards, close to the 15. They're going to spot it, I believe, at the 16-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and 1.
It's one of the few times tonight we've been able to get up to speed. You know, it seems like most of the times when we're trying to make plays, we're not able to get up to the speed the way we're capable of. And the only one I can think of really is Court's run, where we really got out and got going. But this still does set up a big 4th and 1 in the red zone.
Yeah, I said 2nd down. It was actually 3rd. Here comes 4th down carry by Cord Elliott, and he's going to get stopped. Cord Elliott gets submarined by
Tice.
Tice comes in there, and he's certainly playing all 4 quarters and playing on the defensive end, and the Vikings run behind my shoulder pads kind of guy. Court Elliott is upended, and he just doesn't get there. And this is the third or fourth time we've been inside the 20-yard line and haven't been able to finish off a drive.
You know, we try not to overdo it, but this is impressive. I mean, Tice Court does not get stopped in one play very often. And
by one player,
yard. Yeah, exactly. And he's done a nice job defensively and offensively tonight.
Pratt with it now, back on downs, give it to Reiner, trying to get outside, and he gets a little bit of running room, but hanging on is Tim Lambert, among other would-be Viking tacklers. Wampler out there as well, but not before Reiner picks up about 6 yards, 2nd down and 4 for the Pratt Greenbacks.
Yeah, it's just such a strong, and again, Reiner a strong runner as well, and they were starting to run that counter, like we said, most of the second half. This time run the counter, be able to pick up about half the needed yardage for the first down, and again, just going to milk that clock, not going to be too much of a hurry as it goes down under 15 here on the play clock.
Pratt is just as good as advertised. We've said that 2 or 3 times. You can see the hot breath coming out of players on both sides of the football. Travis Tice takes it himself and gets first down yardage, breaking a couple of tackles. Matt Adams had him tackled right near the first down yardage, but then he gets an additional 5 yards across the 30 up to the 31 on 2nd, 3rd, and 4th effort. Yeah, you'd like to have a kid like that on your team. You could coach and show how capable of an athlete he is.
And Matt Adams made a nice contact. I mean, he went in and made a play like he normally would make. Tice just kept his feet rolling and ended up sliding off the tackle and picked up a first down.
Kind of reminds you when you catch a fish and you get a fish on the bank and try to keep it from getting away from you. You can't tackle him. He just keeps wiggling and spinning and churning and makes a way to get out there. Here's a pitch to Reiner outside trying to get the edge, and he's got a little bit of room, but good Viking pursuit on that one. It's so hard to use coach special teams. You get ready for the team you're going to face, and you just can't simulate the speed that the other team has. And Pratt is just they're just up and down the lineup. They are quick.
And we know we've got a lot of speed as our team as well, so you like to think you bring a lot of that to the table. But I know our coaches were very much understanding of just how good this Pratt team was, but hopeful. And again, we've moved the ball well. We just couldn't score.
We just haven't been able to finish off drives. Tice takes it himself, looking downfield for the pass, still looking and rifles it into coverage, Lane Schrag covering Kohler. And the ball just not completed, but that was a tough window to try to throw that through.
Yeah, I thought he had a couple of guys open down the field.
Deep,
I thought number 15, Blankenship, was open deep on the far side, and I think he might have also had, was it Windsor here on this side that was deep, both behind Viking defenders, and instead he chose to go the short route here instead.
3rd down and 8 for the Pratt Greenbacks, who haven't punted yet on the night. First guy through, going to take it. He's got first down yardage. The big fullback up near midfield. Power running by the big fullback, number 6. That's Huber. He's had 4, maybe 5 carries, and he has certainly shown what he's capable of doing.
Yeah, nice tackle on the play. Adams is trailing and be able to get in there. Peters also coming in. Lambert a little slow to get up. Had kind of an arm injury here for the last couple of weeks. Looks like he might be holding that again.
So first down, Pratt near midfield at the 48-yard line. 39-0 is our score, and Pratt certainly is capable of adding more. Vikings on the counter play. Blankenship gets stopped near midfield. He's not going to make it. Good effort in there by Wampler and Blake Hebel to stop that counter run.
Yeah, again, Vikings usually adjust pretty well as time goes on. And here's that counter look again. And like you mentioned, Wampler in there, Hebel in there, both of them able to shut that play down after about a 1-yard gain.
2nd down and 9 for Pratt. They will advance to the semifinals against Andale. I don't know where Andale, I shouldn't say that yet because Andale is ahead of Scott City. I don't know where that matchup might be taking it. Tice gives it off to Reiner again, or the fullback again, Huber. He gets down inside the 40-yard line First down yardage on a blast right through the middle. He's just like a bowling ball trying to get him tackled.
Yeah, just, again, kind of a carbon copy of the Viking offense other than the formations. They've been able to go around the edges and do different things, and then once you start picking up the edges and trying to make plays out there, all of a sudden now they're going back up the middle. Then they work in a counter here or there, but the big fella here, the big fullback coming through there, number 6, Huber, nice gain, first down here at the 40-yard line.
In Viking territory. Man in motion is Blankenship. Here comes Huber again, busting tackles, second, third, and fourth tackle broken, and he gets another first down, just powering his way down inside there. Hebel, one of the ones that had a chance to stop him on a short gain, but Huber, where's he been all game? He's certainly found a way to start coming up with some big yardage.
Yeah, a lot of weapons here on this Pratt team, and we had a couple of guys on the line who had a chance, got a hand on him while he was slowed up, but he was able to sneak through there and pick up some yards. Does he have some pretty good yards on the year, Don?
288 yards, that's the wrong guy. 362 yards, a 5-yard average on his carries. Here comes Reiner trying to get to the outside. Good effort by Blankenship to block Schrog, as Schrog came up and looked like he had a chance to make the tackle, but Blankenship just wouldn't give up on his block, and he able to get Lane broken away from that tackle.
Yeah, he breaks away from Lane's tackle, is able to get by Lambert's tackle, and eventually Conrad Peterson chasing him down from his defensive end position.
On the other side of the field.
Exactly, but not until he picked up about 7.5 on the play.
Second down, we'll call it 3 for Pratt here, leading 39-0 with 6.5 minutes left to go in the ball game. Well on their way to a victory here on the road at Anderson Stadium. Blankenship on that counter look, but he's going to give it off to Huber, the big guy inside, and the Vikings will hold this time. Good effort inside there by Wampler and Grossland, and probably Blake Hebel and Matt Adams. We'll see who all else comes off the bottom of the pile. Blake Hebel, I see, is one.
Yeah, we had a number of them there. Looked like Wampler was in there, and Burks, and like you said, Hebel. A lot of guys, Grossland at the bottom of that. So, again, standing him up, going to make a big third down play. The Vikings would love to get a stop here just for morale, if for nothing else, but to be able to push these Pratt Greenbacks back a little ways.
Yeah, that'd be nice to get a negative play or two here to stop him and turn it over on downs. Tyson's going to keep it himself and run up the middle, and he's going to get no gain on the play. So not on the edge or knocking on the edge of the Next Tech Wireless red zone. It's going to be 4th down and 1.
Yeah, beautiful job by the defense there, able to stiffen a little bit and make this a 4th down play, and they've been pretty good. They haven't had any 4th down plays. When they have, they've kicked a field goal. The Vikings have not been as successful on 4th down, but this is a big chance for them to get a stop.
Bunch everybody together. My guess is Tyson's going to take it right up the middle. They bunch everybody. Their splits on their offensive linemen are just really, really close. 4th down and 1. Tice again trying to get the Vikings to draw the Vikings off sides. Put a man in motion, and now they call a timeout. Timeout on the field, 5:02 left to go. Pratt facing a 4th down and 1 inside Viking territory. Pratt leading 39-0 back after this timeout.
Smoky Valley Chiropractic. Dr. Daryl Loader has been on the Viking sidelines since 1995. A doctor with advanced certification in both wellness and sports injury management, he is the resident expert in the Smoky Valley, helping others live long, active, healthy lives since 1995. Trust your Smoky Valley real estate needs to Mari Loader of Coldwell Banker Antrim Piper Winger Realtors, a Smoky Valley business owner since 1995 and a community volunteer. No one knows the entire Smoky Valley area the way that Mari does. Call her for your real estate needs. Call Mari, call it sold.
The Vikings play here.
2, Smoky Valley Football. I want to thank our sponsors, Harry Malari, CNL Heating and Cooling, People's Bank and Trust, Yoder Lawn and Tree Care, Farmers State Bank, Arn Reinert CPA, Smoky Valley Booster Club, Gallant Tire and Auto, Phoenix Restoration, Lindbergh Family Dental, Viking Auto, Scott's, Bank of Tescott, Mari Loader and her real estate business, Dr. Daryl Loader, and Midway Motors for helping us with our portion of the broadcast and putting up with our shenanigans all year long. We've been having a great year, but tonight it's all Pratt Greenbacks here. They're facing a 4th down and 1. Tice taking his time, getting up to the line of scrimmage. I guessed that he would take it himself. We'll see what they'll do. No, he's going to turn, and he's going to take it himself, but on the outside edge. Hurdles over one tackler and takes it in for a Pratt touchdown, a.k.a. Kareem Hunt, as he hurdles Andrew Peters on the edge and takes it in from the 20-yard line, a 20-yard touchdown run.
Another very athletic play by Tice. Like you mentioned, he gets to the edge, a little fake, trying to get a little bootleg action there, and he gets to Andrew Peters, who, remember, early in the game made a nice one-on-one tackle against Tice. This time, Tice hurdles him, gets to the edge, gives a stiff arm to Lambert about the 5-yard line, and takes it the rest of the way in. I believe that's his 5th rushing touchdown of the night.
All Travis Tice and all Pratt Greenbacks here from Anderson Stadium. The point after kick is up. The point after kick is good. And our score with 4:54 left to go in the fourth quarter. Pratt on top 46-0. Back right after this.
Do you know what major TV networks, Hall of Fame athletes, wineries, pubs, famous chefs, and brides and grooms from across the country have in common? They all purchase custom-etched glassware at glassdecorators.com. EmsloyGlassDecorators.com have been providing carefully etched glass for nearly 30 years. An effective tool for company branding, etched glasses are also perfect for school and civic groups, special occasions, and that one-of-a-kind gift they won't find anywhere else. Emsloy Scandinavian Specialties and GlassDecorators.com, supporting Smoky Valley Athletics since 1984.
This is a Rocking M broadcast of the Smoky Valley Vikings.
Back at Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field on the campus of Bethany College, a 12-play, 84-yard drive in 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Their second 12-play drive of the half. The other one was 65 yards after the opening kickoff. And the other drive, on scoring drive, a one-play, 42-yard drive. So been all Pratt all half. It's been all Pratt all ball game as they lead it 46-0 with now 4:54 left to go here as Sanchez gets ready to kick it off.
A couple of finals from out there. Phillipsburg ends up beating Conway Springs 25-24. Smith Center all over Sedgwick 61-27.
Kickoff bounces again, picks up by Lambert at the 20-yard line, trying to get outside, far side. And he's going to get to the edge and run out of bounds there after a gain of about 5 yards is all.
Yeah, nice play by Caden Everett over there, able to rush Lambert out to the side. Again, kind of got up to speed a little bit, but they tracked so well down the line and were able to push him out for only about a 5-yard run there.
Pratt has finally taken all their starters out, so we got a new group of defenders in here for the Vikings. We'll see what the Vikings can do with this group. With the number one offense, Vikings offense staying in there for this series. Peters comes wide to the near side. I think it's still Schrog under center. And on the keeper lane, Schrog trying to get outside. Got some running room. He gets near first down yardage up across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So it's second down and 2, we'll call it, for Smoky Valley. Well, now they moved it up a little farther, second down and 1. We got nearly to the 34-yard line. Vikings would love to score at least, get a little bit of redemption here, but there's only 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in the ball game. Turning and handing off to Court Elliott, pounding his way up the middle, and he'll get first down yardage up to the 38-yard line. First down, Smoky Valley. But it has been all Pratt tonight. Every billing that they've given, they've lived up to every single effort, and their defense having given up only 88 points on the year. Smoky Valley's defense only given up 83, and the Viking defense giving up more than half the points that they've given up all year in one night. I formation this time behind Lane Schrog, Elliott, and Lambert. Schrog's going to keep it himself, and Schrog nearly breaks the tackle and gets up near the 50-yard line. First down run by Lane Schrog. That's the difference in the defensive group. They get their second group in there, and the Vikings are able to find some willing running room. But it's been a tough go all night for Smoky Valley.
It really has, and we want to point out, too, just how impressive Pratt has been tonight. And I know we've said that a few different times individually, but collectively, what a great squad. They are well deserving of their 10-0 record, most likely, again, 11-0 tonight, and moving on, most likely to play Andale next week.
Pitch outside to Tim Lambert, trying to get outside. He gets to midfield, tries to cut it up, does, and gets driven out of bounds about the 41-yard line, so he'll be very near first down yardage. They spot it on the 41, it'll be a first down. So they will move it up the stick, so a 10-yard gain by Tim Lambert. And, yeah, the quickness and the ability of the second team for Pratt is certainly showing of how good their first-team guys are.
Exactly. And they've just been so impressive on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively tonight.
First down, Smoky Valley. Here comes Raleigh Wilson. Oh, boy, there's a nice tackle by somebody in the second group. Number 1 on the tackle. He is a starter, Dylan Cox. They've got one starter left in there. At least I have him marked in blue on my program. But he got a hold of Raleigh Wilson after he crossed the 40, a 2-yard gain, and he that was a textbook tackle.
It was a textbook tackle, and he may have been out there a long time tonight. The problem is Reiner and Tice have gotten back there to make so many of the tackles. He hasn't had to.
Wide receiver each way, Wilson and Peters. Winholtz and Peters. Here's Schrog on the keeper. Gets a little bit of yardage and across the 35 down to about the 32-yard line, where the Vikings will be facing 3rd down and 1 at the 32.
Yeah, nice to get some ball movement here for the Vikings. And again, want to point out what a fantastic season for Smoky Valley. 10-0 coming into this game. Like you mentioned, had only given up 83 points coming into this. A number of guys are three-headed monster. All the accomplishments of those guys, Schrog, Elliott, and Lambert, just not to be tonight.
Pitch to Lambert, trying the outside now, cuts it back up the middle, still on his feet across the 25-yard line. But there's only 30 seconds left to go in the first half, and the running clock now, obviously, so we're not stopping, and the Vikings aren't going to call a timeout. So Vikings may be down to their last play or two. See how quickly they can get it snapped here. I formation, 13 seconds. Elliott pounding the middle, trying to get up across another blocker, and down inside the 20-yard line to the 16-yard line. And that's where it will end. Our final score from Anderson Stadium. Pratt wins it, shutting out the Vikings. First shutout the Vikings have suffered this year. And they win it by the score of 46-0. Any final thoughts on the game?
Just impressive play by Pratt tonight. Like I said, absolute dominance tonight. And really starting it off just by being able to get the stops early in the game, because the Vikings did move the ball. That opening possession, I thought we established ourselves extremely well. Just were not able to come away with points. Then we did the same thing again, getting down, I believe, all the way to the 16 and just not able to score. And Pratt just turned it on from there and made it a very difficult night for the Vikings to continue on.
We'll be back to wrap up this game. Final 46-0 in favor of Pratt. Back right after this.
Boyd Accounting provides professional accounting services in the Lindsborg area. Call them today at 227-2589 for all your accounting needs. Wishing the best of luck to the Smoky Valley Vikings and Bethany Swedes.
Arn Reinert, CPA LLC, provides tax and accounting services in the Smoky Valley area and is a proud supporter of Smoky Valley High School and Bethany College activities. Located at 117 South Lincoln Street in Lindsborg. Arn Reinert, CPA LLC.
I really appreciate the faculty and staff here at Bethany. They care about their students and they're helping them achieve their goals and to be successful.
It's a Christian-based college, and I felt that he was in the right hands when I left him here.
We chose Bethany College so my son could have a good life.
If you want inspired learning at an affordable price, choose Bethany College. Learn more about your good life at bethanylb.edu.
First Bank Kansas is a proud sponsor of Smoky Valley Football. First Bank Kansas is your community-oriented, customer-focused bank where banking is made personal with locations in Lindsborg, Salina, and McPherson.
Farley's Bar and Grill in downtown Lindsborg is your game day headquarters. Come try their Monte Crisco or other specialty menu items. Farley's Bar and Grill, located at 101.
The Smoky Valley Vikings. Your 3A regional champions are the Pratt Greenbacks.
105 The Rock.
And welcome back to Anderson Stadium, Lindstrom Brothers Field here on the campus of Bethany College, where the Vikings fall tonight to the Pratt Greenbacks, ending up their season 10-1 on the year. Pratt winning it by the score of 46-0, improving their record to 11-0, and they'll face the winner of Andale Scott City in the next round. But the Vikings certainly seeing what a very capable offensive team is. And joining us now, Coach James Henderson. And is it the speed of the Viking or the speed of the Pratt Greenbacks, the running ability of Travis Tice, or what was their key to their victory tonight?
They executed in all phases. They executed what they do really, really well.
No kidding.
And played peak performance for them. They played really well tonight. They as far as their offense goes, they blocked every one of our guys. They got a body to every one of our guys, and we didn't get off blocks. And
their ability to stay with blocks, no question.
And they were more talented than us probably all the way around. So this is just a better football team than us.
We had a couple of drives in the opening drive. We got inside the red zone again, but then seemed like they found a second gear and a second ability to stop us. We've been able to finish drives. We didn't have any fumbles like we did last week against Heston, but we just simply couldn't get, and it looked like we had them second guessing and maybe taking some chances on some running plays and blitzing a little bit, kind of firing through some gaps.
Yeah, it would have been nice, and maybe it would have changed the complexion of the game if we would have scored on one of those first two drives where we moved the ball pretty well. And, give them credit. When they needed to get a stop, they got a stop. Number four, we had trouble blocking him. He's a really good football player.
He's really quick.
Yes,
yeah.
He is, and really fast. And when we had trouble blocking him, and he'd made some plays when they needed him, and just kind of shot through the gap and got by us there. And we didn't get him blocked, and he made the play. So credit him. He made some plays. He's a good football player.
I want to just congratulate your coaching staff, your players. What outstanding effort tonight! Even though it wasn't a victory, they certainly played from start to finish.
Yeah, we're proud of our kids. What a great group of kids. Pratt and I suppose Andale won tonight.
They were ahead anyway. There's not a final yet.
And those are really fine teams, and do a great job. Their coaches do a great job, but I wouldn't trade this experience and our kids for those kids, even though they're going on. We have just wonderful young men that we had an opportunity to work with, especially our seniors, and to spend 4 years with them. Just really quality young guys, and they're going to make great fathers, and they're going to make great citizens, and they're going to be positive role models and fathers and husbands in our community or somebody else's community, and I'm sure proud of them, and I'm gonna miss them a lot.
Well, you're gonna say something. I'm gonna say something about the dads that all came out last night to spread this snow off of the field, and so many dads and so many people from the community, including our administration, Glenn Supas and Bill Nelson and Kai Swisher. There was so many people out here to get this field in playable condition for tonight, because that's the kind of leadership they see from their fathers, and that's the kind of leadership these kids will develop into.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and we do appreciate all those community people that were out here and that put their time and their effort into that, and made it for a really nice playable field. It was really a little cold tonight, but really a good night for football. Not a bad night at all. So and the field dried out, and that turned out great, and we appreciate all those people and thank them so much. I should have mentioned that right off the bat.
Well, we knew we were going to talk about it, because it's a special group of parents that make a special group of kids and athletes for you and everything. But the Vikings put up a great fight tonight. It just wasn't meant to be, and we want to congratulate Jamie Cruz and his Pratt Greenbacks and wish them the best of luck on the way to the next round.
Yeah, we do. They're doing a great job, and they're the only one in our league left, and I think they'll do a great job next week. Representing our league and what kind of football we play in this area of the state. There's some really good teams in this central part of the state. So
there is no question about that. It's a great group and you guys got a great team. You got a great coaching staff, and it's been a pleasure to cover you all year long.
Well, thank you very much, Donnie. We appreciate it, and we know you're always positive about what the kids are doing and the coaches, and we appreciate that so much. And all the years that you've put into this, we really appreciate it. You guys all do a great job. Thank you so much.
And we want to thank Mike Rose for what you're watching here. I know there was over 600 and some listeners and watchers tonight on the air, and what a great service that he provides as well.
Yes. Hey, I do want to mention something here.
Okay.
You know, I can't quite remember the score with Holcomb last year.
I would have it right here.
Was it 28-6 or something like that?
I'll get to it here in a second.
But
Holcomb won it all last year?
Yeah, and Holcomb.
And Pratt won it all 2 years ago.
And Pratt won it all 2 years ago.
3 years in a row we've lost in this round.
But yes, but what I'm going to tell you is that was an awful good team we played from Holcomb last year because they won the state championship. And you know, what I would say right now, this Pratt team is much better than that Holcomb team was last year. And so, you know, I think this Pratt team has a really good opportunity to do what nobody thinks anybody can do, and that's beat Andale. I think they could maybe do it.
We lost to Holcomb by the score of 26-6.
Yeah. So, anyway, really good team that we played tonight.
Yeah, no question about that, James. And we want to thank you for stopping each and every week and visiting a little bit. Doug, what do you got?
And that Andale score is a final. Andale 35-14 over Scott City.
Scott City, yeah. Well, again, guys, we appreciate you very much. Thank you for the opportunity to come and hopefully share positive notes about every game and shed a good light on what the Vikings did. And I'm really proud of our kids this year. And I'm proud of what the extra work that they put in the summertime.
Oh, absolutely.
And at 6 o'clock in the morning and all those other times. So, you know, our kids are doing the right things and learning how to work hard. And like I said, becoming young men. We're proud of them.
No question about that. Again, the final score 46-0. We didn't get a point on the scoreboard, but got a point in our heart. We know this group of guys is an exceptional group of young men.
Yes. And, you know, for those 15 seniors, we'll never get a chance to watch them all together, play together on this field. So,
yep.
So that's kind of a sad note.
Yeah, it is. No question about that. Yep. James Henderson, thanks for coming down each and every week and giving us your thoughts, and congratulations on a great season.
Yep, thank you.
James Henderson of the Vikings, and the Vikings had it on the first drive, had it in the red zone but couldn't score, turned it over on downs, and 6 plays, 74 yards later, Pratt culminates a drive in a 1-yard Travis Tice touchdown. The point after snap on the kick was no good, but the holder took it in for a 2-point conversion, and they led 8-0 on their first possession. And the Vikings trying to drive and threw an interception. Pratt got the ball back 6 plays, 42 yards later. They scored again with 10:02 left to go in the second quarter. Point after kick was good, and it was 15-0. Then the drive inside the 20-yard line again. The Vikings couldn't score again. Pratt takes it 5 plays, 84 yards, and that drive culminates on a 33-yard pass to Windsor from Tice, and it's 22-0. And then Pratt gets it back one more time before halftime and kicks a 25-yard field goal to take a 25-0 lead into halftime. And then in the third quarter, they take their opening drive, 12 plays, 65 yards. The Vikings go 3 and out. Pratt gets it back again. 1 play, 42 yards. Travis Tice takes it himself into pay dirt. And then the Vikings, again, in the red zone in the early part of the fourth quarter, can't score. Pratt takes over on downs and drives at 12 plays, 84 yards. And scores. A 2-point conversion is good. The point after kick is good. Tice takes a 20-yard touchdown run. And it's 46-0, and that's where the game ends. And, Jason, you have some stats for us. Get you turned back up there.
Pratt with a pretty dominating
performance,
performance with 448 total yards of offense on 49 plays for a 9.1 yards per play average to Smoky Valley's 260 yards on 58 plays, 4.5 yards per play. Passing, Pratt with 96 yards passing to Smoky Valley's 58. Pratt had 1 touchdown through the air. Smoky Valley had 1 interception through the air. Rushing, Pratt 42 rushing attempts for 352 yards to Smoky Valley's 50 rushing attempts for 202 yards. Pratt with 25 first downs to Smoky Valley's 15. Third down conversions, Pratt 4 for 7, 57% to Smoky Valley's 7 for 13 at 53.8%. And Pratt on fourth down, 1 for 1 to Smoky Valley's 1 for 4. Individually for Pratt, Travis Tice, 3 for 5, 96 yards, 1 touchdown. Rushing, Tice with 23 rushing attempts, 206 yards, and 5 touchdowns on the night. Cadence Reiner, 10 rushes for 78 yards. Hunter Huber, 6 rushes for 56 yards. And Caden Blankenship, 3 rushes for 12 yards. Receiving for Pratt, Windsor, 2 catches for 73 yards, 1 touchdown. And Reiner, 1 catch for 23. Leading the way, tackling for Pratt, Schneider with 7.5 tackles, Tice 7.5, Reiner 7, Kohler 4.5, Blankenship, Huber, and Evert with 4 tackles. Smoky Valley through the air, Lane Schrog, 3 for 8, 58 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. Court Elliott rushing, 17 rushing attempts, 108 yards. Tim Lambert, 18 carries for 56 yards. Lane Schrog, 11 carries for 33 yards. And Raleigh Wilson, 4 for 5 yards. Receiving, Chase Pywell, 1 reception for 24 yards. Dax Hopp, 1 catch for 20 yards. And Tim Lambert, 1 for 14. Tackling for Smoky Valley, Tim Lambert, 7 tackles. Lane Schrog, 7 tackles. Court Elliott, Andrew Peters, 4.5. Carson Windholtz, 3.5. Blake Hebel, Ethan Wampler with 3. Matthew Adams, 2.5. Conrad Peterson with 2. John Burks with 1. Dax Hopp and Nate Grosland with 0.5.
All in all, a well-played game by the Vikings. They just couldn't score. All those drives that got in the red zone, we just couldn't score. And hats off to the Pratt Greenbacks on their scoring. Doug, you got some scores, or you're whistling around your computer there?
Yeah, let's throw some scores out at you. 3A, we've got completed 3A results for you. Obviously here, the Vikings fall tonight to Pratt, 46-0. The final 4 now have been determined for Class 3A. Galena ends up beating Marysville tonight 42-36. That game was in double overtime. That had to be a heck of a battle. That game, of course, taking place at Galena. Galena moves on to 11-0.
No, that was at Marysville.
You might have been at Marysville. You're right.
Yeah.
Sabetha ended up playing Parsons tonight. Sabetha ends up winning 62-18. And then we already mentioned the Andale win 35-14 over Scott City. So each of the 4 teams coming out of 3A are all going to be moving into the Final Four with records of 11-0. Quite a solid section there. 1A, Jackson Heights ends up losing to St. Mary's Colgan 34-7. Smith Center takes care of Sedgwick 61-27. And Plainville defeats Elkhart tonight. Of course, Coach Hattabaugh there, Chris Hattabaugh, losing after a wonderful 9-0 season. They fall to 9-1, so Plainville will move on. In 2A, Humboldt 24, Rossville 22. Last score we had, Hoisington was up on Hutch Trinity 24-0. And Phillipsburg beats Conway Springs 25-24. 8-man Division 1, Argonia falls to Solomon 14-6. Central Plains defeats Hoxie 54-6. In 8-man Division 2, Hanover 46-0 over St. Paul. Axtell 54-8 over Waverly. Osborne also 54-8 over South Barber. Moving up into 4A, last scores we had, still had a lead for McPherson over Arc City. Hadn't seen a final on that one yet. Do have finals. Olathe West, they came in 4-6 tonight. They end up knocking off 8-2 DeSoto 24-7. And Derby beating Topeka 38-7. Those are the scores I have up to this point.
Time now to name our player of the game, and Smoky Valley, well, it looks like it's going to be Cord Elliott to me. 17 carries, 108 yards. Any other candidates?
You know, they just bottled things up tonight so badly. You know, Tim had 18 carries tonight, but only able to get 56 yards. They really keyed on him a lot. Lane Schrog, 11 carries, 33 yards. Lambert did get a lot of tackles tonight, but part of that was because they got up the field so far. It was made it such a difficult night. He had 8 assisted tackles and 3 solo tackles, but I think the opportunities presented to us tonight, I think Cord Elliott gave us the best opportunity for a touchdown with his big drive or big run, and still, despite what we always say about Cord and how strong he is, it was really impressive to see how Tias was able to take him down that fourth down play. But my vote would have to go to Cord Elliott tonight as well. No question about that. We'll concur on that, and he is our player of the game. A great job for him by doing that. Got a final Hoisington 24-0. I don't know if you had that one or not, but Jared just popped that one up on the screen for me. So any final thoughts on the season tonight? What do you got? I want to say thanks to all these seniors, 15 seniors, as Coach Henderson pointed out: Chase Pywell, Tim Lambert, Cord Elliott, Carson Byers, Lane Schrog, Carson Windholtz, Blake Hebel, Conrad Peterson, Hunter Trossel, Wyatt Reed, Nate Grosland, Ethan Wampler, Shane Bishop, Matthew Adams, John Burks. These guys, tremendous. We'll give them a tremendous 3-year run here of things they've been able to accomplish. But what a great 4 seasons of like Coach Henderson pointed out, becoming such amazing young men, all their parents, all the support they've given, the support of the community, but very, very proud of all these guys and what they've had a chance to accomplish. What a season. Coach Henderson, I think, said it all when he said they were the better team tonight. Oh, yeah. They just flat outplayed us. They didn't necessarily outwork us. Our kids have always worked hard. It starts with those guys there, but these guys are going to be missed down the road. Oh, no question about that. It's been a fun season, and I want to thank you guys for making it a fun season for us, and Mike Rose for doing the internet broadcast when we're at home. It's so fun to be able to get that little replay that we get and provide that audio and video for Bethany Home and the 600 and some individual computers that were on. That doesn't mean there's not 4 or 5 people watching at the same location, and could be close to 1,000 people watching that video. Yeah, and what a great service. You know, there were a lot of people from Pratt tonight watching, a lot of people from all around the state watching. This was a pretty big game for this area, and so great service provided. We really appreciate the district and all they do. Excited on my behalf, and I know Coach Vanderweg's behalf, to start the winter season. I look forward to the meetings that you and I will have before games as we get into that too, and hopefully we'll continue some of that success from the football field and carry in the cross country pitch there and be able to continue that on. Jason, thanks for all your help with stats this year. We appreciated having you on board as well.
Speaking of stats, I just have a couple final season stats. For our 3-headed monster, Tim Lambert ends the year with 1,451 yards on the ground with 9 touchdowns. Cord Elliott, 1,152 yards, 12 touchdowns, and Lane Schrog, 775 yards for 11 touchdowns. And I know we never talk about the defense, but Blake Hebel ending the season with 74 tackles, Cord Elliott, 64 tackles, Matthew Adams, 63 tackles, Tim Lambert, 59 tackles, Lane Schrog, 57 tackles, Conrad Peterson, 45, Ethan Wampler, 52. Conrad Peterson led the way with 6 sacks. Carson Windholtz, 5 interceptions, leading the way there. It is. It's a great job. And Coach Jamie Cruz coming out of their radio booth, I want to try to grab him really quickly and congratulate him on the air, because he's a Bethany grad, and him and his wife Amy lived here for several years in Lindsborg. So let me stick my head outside here real quick and see if I can grab Jamie. Yeah, just an impressive season all around for the Vikings and what they were able to accomplish. You know, like Jason mentioned, all the yardage here. I mean, you're talking about 3,200, almost 3,300 yards these guys were able to put up throughout the year through that 3-headed monster. And again, our hats off to Pratt and the things that Coach Cruz has done there. And we, of course, wish them all the best of luck. And we'll get him all mic'd up here and get Donnie to take over here as well.
I hate to congratulate you because you got some bad colors on, but what a team you put together. Congratulations on your victory, and Jamie Cruz joining us here really quick. And boy, you've got to. We know how good Travis Tice is because we had to watch him during basketball season for a couple of years. But what do you feed that guy?
It's all coaching with number 5.
Oh yeah, right? Yeah, right. Yeah. I think so. It must be.
It's stay the heck out of his way and don't screw anything up with it.
Oh my goodness! No, what a sensational athlete you have there.
Yeah, and we do. We got a bunch of kids. Obviously, he's super talented. But we've, like any program that wins a lot of games, you have to have good players, and you have to have kids that want to work hard and are coachable, and we've got that. We've got a great group right now. So. There's some kids that are really talented.
The surprise to me was the Reiner kid. His quickness on the defensive side. He got in the backfield on us several times and was able to disrupt some of the things we were doing.
Yeah, non-football coaches that don't watch the film and get everybody's surprised by it, but all the coaches say, "Hey, number 4 is really good."
Yeah,
I say, "Yeah, I know he is." Travis gets all the accolades, and rightly so. But man, Caden Schreiner is an exceptional player for us on both sides of the ball, and really, as good as he is on offense, he's really exceptional at linebacker. And he's a really good player.
He is, and we want to wish you the best of luck. Where will your game next week be?
Well, I believe I heard Andale won, so we're going to be at home.
You'll be at home against Andale.
The Goliath Andale.
Well, we wish you the best of luck against them. I know you'll go toe-to-toe with them, and you've got the athletes and the speed, and hopefully we'll be cheering you on.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And congrats to Smokey. They were a tough team. I think the game was probably closer than the score, obviously. But, they're a really fine group, and I thought they played exceptionally hard, and just like they did on film, they looked really good, and they were. I think, we were able to just do some things early on and get a little bit of a lead, which made it a little bit bigger margin than that probably was.
Yeah.
But congrats to them. I know those kids work really hard, and the coaches do as well. So hats off to the great season.
And great to see our league schools. Our league schools compete so hard against each other and always go to work and always come out with such great sportsmanship and great skill. And we're impressed by the things that you do there as well. And like I said, can't tell you guys enough how great it was to watch you guys play tonight and the things you're able to accomplish, your staff. Congratulations to all of you. And like Donnie said, good luck next week.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jamie, for coming by and stopping, letting me holler at you and bringing you over here. So no question about that. Any final thoughts for us guys here?
That was a great season for our guys, and tough to end that way tonight. But that's where you get to this point in time of the season. It's either one or the other. Yeah. And it was definitely not one of those where you have to leave here saying, "Darn it, it was a heartbreaker. What if we did one other thing different?" They just flat came out and played some ball tonight, and our guys continue to compete, but we just didn't have what it took.
Jason, thank you for stats. Doug, thank you for your color, and it's just been a wonderful, wonderful season.
Thanks for having us on board.
Yep. Take care, everyone. That'll wrap it up. The Vikings fall to the Pratt Greenbacks by the score of 46-0. Again, late night in the Valley starts on
Friday, November 16th.
A week from Friday.
A week from today.
Okay.
A week from today, 5:30 p.m. Smoky Valley High School gym. Come out and join us. Food, fun, entertainment, and a lot of basketball.
Good luck to Bethany Swedes basketball tomorrow at Hillsborough tournament. Both men and women playing back-to-back over there. Good luck on the K-State KU game tomorrow at Manhattan. And I think we've given enough credits. Take care, everyone. A wonderful season. It's been 10-1 for the Smoky Valley Vikings. And we'll talk to you next year here from Anderson Stadium whenever we have the first game. Take care, everyone. Good night.
Did you know you can purchase